Dust. The game sense from Obo, the level of focus that he had when he immediately goes away from the vent position after getting threatened there to look for the player coming on the flank, that's such a smart move because that player thinks he's going to get the drop on Obo, but no.
It's insane. I mean, this kid is only 16 years old. He is, I think, maybe the youngest professional player probably right now, if I had to take a guess.
He has to be, yeah.
And this is only his 5th LAN, period. And he hasn't even ever played small LANs. I mean, this guy, his first LAN was ECS Season 7 Finals. His second LAN was the Major. So, I mean, he's had to learn fast, man. I mean, that's all I can really say.
Wow.
And here's the thing. Until Blast, he was playing on complexity lines that weren't fully formed yet. Like, there was that transition period where they had gotten like Blame F and Rush, but they still had like Deft and company playing, and then they kind of further made that next move where you see Poison and company coming in. So it's been like this transition period. He's had to play through all of that as an inexperienced player, and now he finally has the team, right? And that was cool to see him have that awareness already.
Yeah, that really made it so much easier. And complexity, not looking too bad at the moment. 4 rounds in a row. All the rounds on the second half going to them. That makes me begin to believe this might be possible, honestly, because going into this half, it looked so desperately awful.
Yeah, it's one of those things where we didn't know if complexity had a good T side. I mean, again, the sample size is still limited. When I've tried to watch their new games, it didn't appear like they had that much of one, but again, hadn't seen it enough. But now that they've proven, hey, we got a little bit of something on T side, now you can be like, okay, there's a fight ahead of us.
And as well, the game plan, the preparation, it's hard to know how complexity have been setting themselves up for this series. And, well, so far, it's not looking too bad, but it could all change. We've seen things change so quickly between these two teams in this series so far. Yuri's going to pick up a kill. I don't know that gun... Okay, the gun will be protected by Poison. So Poison does not want to allow that gun to go into the hands of his opponents, but he actually can't go that deep to try to deny the gun itself. He's got to play from this position. There could be 2 players cross-firing up there. Be quite careful that he doesn't go down as well. Speaking of which, Henny ready, and, well, there definitely will be at least a gun collected. Henny will be the one to get it. Good round from FURIA. If you consider they just had the pistols, they will get damage and a creep out of this.
That's really well done. This forces so much rebuying out of complexity. They have to rebuy 3 players. Their money isn't that built up yet. I mean, they've only won... I mean, they've won more of the rounds, but the problem is they've had to rebuy every time. I think every round except for the pistol, they've had to rebuy at least 3 players. So that is kind of a real problem. But at the same time, they've also been able to lock up this entire half thus far. And that is really nice for them because they've jumped up to a 2-round lead. It is the first time they've had a lead all game. So this is shaping up quite nicely for complexity, actually. Now FURIA is the one on the ropes. They are the wilder of this situation.
Oh, for sure. It definitely is now that, I completely agree, that position where FURIA have got to start scratching their heads. Look at the playbook, figure it out. Because right now complexity are finding that groove. And they're definitely a team that plays really well when they start getting that momentum, they start feeling it individually. It becomes a little bit scary. Poison on the AWP. We haven't seen too much from him as a T-side AWP on Nuke just yet. It can be an awkward map, right, for an AWP, but initial nades towards the door. Slow from complexity, but it may be very deceptive because it looks like they may want to go for a burst here after that initial utility. There's the burst into the upper bomb site. Yuri, what the hell was that? I don't understand the physics on that one.
How is it always headshots? Every time he opts someone, I swear it's a headshot. It's actually great. I don't get it. I can't wait to watch that replay. Hopefully he can win the round, but it's going to be hard 1v3. In all of that madness, we did see FURIA, be the more efficient team in the fragging department, despite the crazy antics of Poison.
And here he goes, down the vent. He wants to try to outposition the CTs. There's still one on lower. It's a 1v1 though. If he wins this, it'll be huge points, and he doesn't get himself a chance at that one. K-Serato denies him. And FURIA, they pick up their first round. complexity, they try to throw a wrench into the works there, Dust. It just looks so easy and calm. I don't really get it, but that's cool, I guess.
Here's the problem that we were talking about, though. Is this a situation that we were fearing for complexity? Is that they've got nothing. They've got nothing in the tank.
Yeah, they lost too much money on the rounds that they've won.
Double op and play for FURIA, by the way. That's a bit interesting. I feel like you see it sometimes on Nuke CT side, but it's definitely not as used as on other maps where it's like kind of a common fixture of the defense.
Yeah. FURIA, compLexity won 5 rounds in a row. The first round they lose, they're broke. Completely broke. And that is not typical.
It's just because a lot of the rounds actually did come pretty close.
FURIA played really well.
Yeah.
They played really well when they were low econ.
Time.
And Art is going to turn his attention here towards the outside. Config, oh, okay, Config's going to move out into position. Out of position, I should say. And it looks like there is not too much else to really speak of in this round. There's a Beagle or two, and that's really it.
I'd like to see a timeout from compLexity, honestly, just to, you know, focus back up. I mean, they obviously have been tearing up this half, and maybe that's why they probably wouldn't want to take one, because they feel like they're winning most of the rounds. But this is a very important next round, because, I mean, your money is kind of in disarray. You're going to get a full buy here next, sure, but if you lose, you're back to saving again. That's when FURIA starts building up a lead. So whether or not they talked over maybe something in that pistol round, I just think that this is where they need to dig deep and come up with their best play.
Yeah, they need to crush the money immediately of FURIA.
Exactly.
And it feels like such a difficult ask. And as you say, the double AWP setup from FURIA, it's really unusual. Again, it's really offbeat. That's just generally how I think you can describe FURIA and how they play. And it's going to be interesting to see what the result is here as compLexity go quite far forward. Oh my god!
Wow.
That's a huge whiff. And with that, a Krieg is collected. And compLexity have some fast position down secret.
Dan, that's a hard one to watch.
That is not, that's rough. That's real rough.
No, it's continuing. The whiffs are apparently contagious right now for FURIA, but K-Star is at least able to get away with this life and get a new angle, so he still can pose a threat going forward. But as you noted, compLexity has such good positioning, but Finny, this is a nice little backstab here at Decon. He's going to be able to take down BlameF. That gets the numbers back even here. Still a long time left to go on this round as well. It means compLexity can kind of take their time, but they're also just conceding all the ground. Now FURIA are getting all the positions they could want for a retake. They have all the kind of angles covered. They know that compLexity's kind of trapped in this area, but somehow,
that late lurk, the late lurk from Rush breaks the stalemate. And now they can move forwards with advantage, potentially, or go back upstairs. They can cut noise a little bit. And now FURIA are going to start wondering, Yuri, he's the only guy that can actually stop this. And beautiful. Poison jumps out there, baiting, and Rush finishes it off. Great team play from compLexity, and they look like they're now out. They've outpositioned FURIA, and now FURIA have no legs to stand on in this retake.
It's all Rush, man. Those 2 kills he got basically opened up an avenue to get back into the upper bomb site. And then the efficient trading of Yuri. Yuri had such a good angle to make sure he only got 1 kill from that spot is so brilliant. And yeah, they're just going to save these 2 weapons. So compLexity going to get right back to their winning ways after losing a couple. They will be right back to being victorious. They'll take the lead now 12-11. And it's a neck-and-neck battle. You wouldn't want to have it any other way. You're trying to decide who's going to go on to those grand finals to play against Gen G. So much on the line between the lion's share, the $100,000 prize pool, the slot for the DreamHack Masters Young Chirping in the summer, going up the ESL, you know, DreamHack Pro Tour ranking system for future invites and qualifier positions. I mean, there's a lot of weight on this game, and compLexity, they're looking up to the task.
It's just so awesome to see from a young team like this, just the level of detail sometimes. Oh, you went and did it.
I didn't want to see it again, really.
You went and did it. But to be fair, that's a really important moment in this one.
Yeah.
And also the thing there with Yuri, again, like, Yuri wins that round if Poison doesn't bait his shots out like that, because he'll get a much faster kill on the first player and then be able to shoot the second player. And Rush doesn't have nearly as much time to try to trade it. And so it's just those small bits of detail, knowing that that's the one way you lose the round, and then having an answer for it ahead of time shows that compLexity are really dialed in right now and looking really focused.
The thing is that that's like the one time you could have gotten the jump on compLexity playing that position, because that position gets used by CTs a decent amount to catch Ts off guard as they think they can just waltz down the stairs, because their first point of contact they think they're going to face is back halls. But now that you've run that gambit and failed, now Cole's going to look for that. And so you kind of lost your chance to pull the wool over their eyes. And that could definitely play into the mind games going forward, but
compLexity really have to do this the hard way too, because we talked about them winning that last round to break the money, but FURIA did have enough money to get another buy-in, so they have to do it all over again.
Yeah, and meanwhile their money is still vulnerable, so it's still a very tight economic game. It's definitely one of those moments where I'm sure fans of these teams are on the edge of their seats because it's so tense right now. Outside smoke's going to be coming out from compLexity, but they're not going to be playing off the backline. They're actually going to back up, maybe trying to throw a bit of a feint that they are taking outside control, but they're really looking to pry it upper. But Vinny, he has a dangerous position, Dan.
Yeah, I wonder if they'll be cognizant of this. This is a fairly common response that CTs will try to get that position back in case of a burst through door, and that's why that smoke that we just saw, especially that re-smoke, this got to be put into question at this point, those close positions. compLexity are going to be in trouble if they go for this upper play. It looks like FURIA are really ready for this. We'll see how it pans out, though. Oh, the timing is pretty good. Oh, I don't know what the hell just happened there. He went back up the ladder and got another one, but Yuri from up high is dealing all the damage that's necessary to make this a good look for FURIA. There's still players left, though. Blame and config, they keep the round alive, and they have position. There's one stuck in the vent. They know Art is in the vent still, in case Serato's now rotating around through Mini. So compLexity, they should be good to have this bomb go down and cover it. And there's the flash up high as well to keep it safe, extra safe. Oh man, they have a really good chance here. I don't know how they've turned this around. There's the next peek towards Mini. Now they know where Serato is. Config, got to bring out that config game. Two players, one from Hut, one from Mini. Config doesn't know that though, as he looks for the next engagement, the next point of contact. Oh, he's so fast! Config's done it! That's absolutely ridiculous that compLexity find a way back in the round. They had this insane timing. I don't even get it, but it happened. It's a thing. And they're 13-11.
It's been a while since I've seen this config, Dan, and I'm loving every second of it, bro. He is a human highlight reel whenever he's in shape. He was always known for having that crazy good first bullet accuracy, crazy known for being able to create openings, to be a playmaker. His days coming up through Dignitas, when he played alongside like MSL and KRB and Tinsky, and that's where he started making a name for himself. He obviously transferred over to North with a lot of those guys and continued to build up his kind of reputation as a star-level entry player. And, you know, he had his off period. There was that whole Thorn article that came out, and he responded to that and said that, you know, I want to make a comeback. And, you know, he found a home here on compLexity. Some people criticize compLexity for taking a gamble on him. You could see both sides of that argument, I think, if you're being, you know, objective about it. But, man, he's been lighting up here in Anaheim.
Yeah, honestly, these mid-round clutch situations from compLexity, even if they're weaker strategically, if you can do stuff like that, if you have the sense of the game like they're showing us, they can still win from positions like they started in, which is a terribly out-of-favor position. Not enough rounds on the T side, but every intense situation, they give it a good go, and we're seeing it actually now pan out. It's 13-11. They look like they're going to take this one.
There's no doubt now his aim is back. Like, I mean, I think we're seeing that. I mean, it's just about stringing it together consistently, though. It's going to be the thing. But Hinny, that is a nice little op shot to find, kind of a lucky shot through the smoke. And he gets another onto Obo down to 1 HP. He won't know that yet, but he has done so much work on his own. That is scary.
Oh my God, he's done it again.
Oh my God, how does he keep doing this? I think he might have spotted a little bit of something before he took that shot. It wasn't a complete blind shot that time around, but still, he's done so much work.
He might have done too much here. This is going to be very hard to recover from. Now, as you say, he doesn't really quite know the amount of damage that he has done. He doesn't know that there's like 150 plus damage that he has done. He doesn't know about it, which is quite amusing. However, his teammates are playing pretty safe positions. Once again, compLexity are going to have to deliver something pretty enormous.
He saw that.
Yeah, the rush is just dead.
Probably.
Henny has him dead to rights here. There we go. And now what are you going to do? There's just nothing left. There's nothing left at compLexity. They've been gutted by these AWPs. And he's having the time of his life in this round. And they just got to give it up. They couldn't even run around here. This is just ridiculous.
It's actually great. Like, it just happens sometimes. Like, every now and then, as an opera, when you just take those guest shots, whether it be like double doors on Dust 2, or whether it just be through smokes on long angles, or whatever the case may be, sometimes those shots are just going to connect, and it's just going to mean the world of difference on how the round plays out. I mean, this is just a complete blind shot on Blame F. Just happens to get a nice timing here on Rush on the flank, and obviously we saw the damage he did previous to that outside. So finally, FURIA are going to take a swing back. They've only won 3 rounds this half.
That's a gift from the gods right there.
Yeah.
That round. That's such a that puts the situation, that puts FURIA in a situation where they get a little bit of breathing room in an otherwise extremely difficult situation where they're losing rounds a bunch of rounds, and a lot of them have been these clutches, these rounds where they started out in advantage, and then it's not through them necessarily misplaying it, but just a little bit of luck mixed in with a lot of clutch from compLexity and great team play that allows compLexity to somehow make that disadvantage turn out into an advantage eventually and into a round win. So FURIA needed something like that.
That's going to give it a chance to tie this game up now, too, because compLexity are working with very little here. I mean, they have the Scout on Poison, they have a couple of rifles. Config has been deadly with the AK, if we're being completely honest, these last couple of maps on T side. So maybe, just maybe, he'll still have that magic to pull something off, despite the fact that they are limited in their firepower.
Yuri's really been a god in this game for FURIA. He's doing so well.
Yeah, 26 kills. He's definitely looking back in shape. I was kind of worried about him because I know he had a tough end to last year, and he was one of the star players of this team next to Queserado, and so to see him back in shape here in Anaheim is a good thought for FURIA. Henny, a little bit of a one-way to peer over here, over towards CT spawn. Not going to catch anything from it, though. compLexity taking their time, very patient as they approach red.
Oh, God, that's so dangerous. Oh, my God, it's so dangerous. Going up there when, you know, Henny's outside. He's basically Thor dropping the thunder. And I don't know how they managed to dodge that thunder. But here we go. Art's now turned his attention, cutting down one of the players, Obo, on the outside of this quick push down to the lower bomb site. They need a fast timing for a plant. They need the money in the bag. They need that bomb plant. Vinny looking to deny, though. And, oh, BlameF is going to... Oh, God, okay. A couple of headshots later, and it's a 1 versus 3. The bomb... Oh, it doesn't go down. That's a big shame for compLexity. They really could have used the extra cash. They're going to have to save regardless, but if they got that extra $800, that's 5 deagles for each player. But they can't really afford to spend. They can't afford to deco right now. They have to actually, I think, full save.
No, this is where FURIA starts taking control back again in this game. Very likely going to find this 14th round. I mean, there's really no way they shouldn't. It's just Glocks for compLexity. They shouldn't have any business having impact in this round, but...
Just going all the way, Dust. It's going down to the wire.
Wouldn't have it any other way, and it's such an important game. Had some intense matches, that is for sure, throughout this tournament. A lot of close calls, a lot of overtimes. Maybe we'll even get some of that in this one, we'll never know. Oh, Henny spots a little bit of something there.
Trying to force it out, he knows. Oh, he missed the molly, unfortunately for him. It's not supposed to bounce off a mini. It's just about waiting for the T's to push. They don't have to hold any aggressive positions because they don't want to get swarmed by the numbers. That's all that compLexity have to work with is numbers. So instead they want to take positions like this where they line up, and now if you want to get that gun, well, you got to move through Henny. So it should be a terminal velocity there. But they actually do collect the Krieg. Obo's on it.
Yeah.
And
a small victory for a round where you only have Glocks to actually get a rifle in your hands. It's going to be hard to do a lot with it, though, for honest. I mean, Art has a great position here to stop them from going for some type of lower bomb plant. Indeed, there it is. There's the stop. Smoke down as well to give him a little bit more safety as he lurks around. But Obo could maybe find a shot here. No, not going to happen. Didn't have the armor to take an extended fight there, but Config jumps in for one, picks up that M4. So they're actually getting a lot out of this, despite the fact that it was Glocks only, to be fair.
Yeah, 2 kills is great. The economy for FURIA is sturdy enough, though, that at this point they can pretty much weather anything.
Right.
And their buy is not going to be, it will be unaffected by those kills, so that's good for them. And compLexity, they get their full buy-in, and not going to see an AWP on Poison. It's full rifles here, just a single Krieg for Obo. Going to spend everything to get the full utility as full as they can make it. And this is it. This feels like this feels like an incredibly important round here. I feel like if compLexity can't find a way forward with this one, I think they're screwed. They've got to make this round work.
This does seem like everything hinges on this for compLexity's lifetime in this tournament. FURIA, though, looking to try to, again, start their own redemption arc after a mixed bag at the end of last year. But it's not going to happen for Art this round. BlameF got so quickly into the back halls. Art trying to challenge after him is going to get caught.
This is huge because Blame is covering the rotation on Vent as his teammates go down secret. So the CTs only have really Henny in this position. He whiffs the first shot. Oh, okay, Serato. He's managed to find position to do some serious damage here to this push. And what do they decide to do now? There is a rotation. They could go back up the vent. That is an option available to them. They've got time to take that bomb back up the vent. The spray comes through from Yuri. He's absolutely unstoppable so far, but he is the only one. And if they can take him down, oh, thank goodness, for complexity's sake, Yuri is a complete god. And you can't give him a chance to win these clutches, to have 1v1s. He'll win them.
Oh, Jason Lake is out there sweating. I can tell.
Oh, yeah, of course.
He's up standing around. He's like hopping around. I can't blame him, man. This is a nail biter, bro. This is a crazy one. 14-14. A tactical timeout comes in.
The money.
FURIA.
Actually, the money is not quite as good for FURIA as
no, it's
first
not.
thought.
I mean, whoever wins this wins the game. You have to feel just based on the economies.
Yeah.
Unless someone gets like a crazy, like low buy opportunity. Because the money's pretty tight for Cole too after they make their purchases here. So a lot is on this one. So much. It's been just tooth and nail, man. It's been a slugfest these last 6 or so rounds.
Deep breaths all around as we resume play. It could all come down to this, as Dust alluded to. Initial harassment around the door, blow it open, get the smoke through, get the fire through, deny angles, deny vision, deny position on top of the hut with the Molotov. Counter utility has been thrown by FURIA. Henny's missing Kevlar. Now they're missing a lot of utility because they were so worried about the fast plays.
Yep.
And that's all according to plan. Look what FURIA have left. It's a minute 25, 2 smokes.
No
2
HEs,
1 flash, that's it.
1 dream.
And 1 kit. Definitely a lot of problems here for FURIA. compLexity well set up. They've got a better look on utility. They don't have position outside. It's feeling like an upper take could be coming in. They're going to throw those outside smokes first.
Right.
See what they do with them.
Yeah, again, just kind of those smokes that can mean anything, right? I mean, you're just trying to show that it's possible you could be going lower to back halls, and you have to force those CTs to respect that position, but it's just Blame F doing it. He might be that late lurk into Mini to try to help pinch this upper bomb slide, as again, as you noted, a lot of these guys are gathered up inside the lobby. You're starting to see them pour in now. Art, though, is top hut, but he gets taken care of by Obo, and here come the teams coming in, but Vinny and Yuri are slicing and dicing them all the way through, leaving Poison left alone, and that's going to be it. It happens so fast. The dreams being ripped away from compLexity now, it seems. Now they have one last hope for overtime, but it's going to be labored with this economy.
This position, it did way too much damage. That did so much damage to us. There was no Molotov for it. The first trade didn't work. And then compLexity sort of in the chaos didn't quite realize in time, and it was too late.
Yeah. They killed the top hut player so fast, too. It's the crazy part about that. But here they go, another fast upper push down.
This is for the game for FURIA! Yuri gets the great spray down, and compLexity might be done here. It's just Poison and Blame F that are left alive, as FURIA are looking too strong in this position. Burning Blame F, leaving just Poison, the young gun, to do what he can. He manages to extract an extra kill. He has the bomb on his back. There is some hope here for Poison. He's hoping that everybody's on the upper bomb site and that he's going to maybe beat a rotation here. He's going to have to go for a really fast plant, but they're really close to Decon right now. Over through the door, and Poison, he's done. He gets the bomb down, but there's no one to defend it, and that's going to be the game. Amazing stuff there from FURIA. Dust, they've actually pulled it off. I didn't think they were going to get here. So much resilience for both teams. You've got to give so much credit to both of them. Even though FURIA won this, compLexity showed us so much class throughout this series.
Yeah. I mean, I think with this combined with how they did at Blast, there definitely is some hope for that team and definitely a future for those guys over there. But FURIA, it's nice to see them back in the finals. I mean, I feel like they've really had their struggles. They had a lot of time off, and it's cool to see them back in better shape, seeing Yuri play a lot better, get back to the star player that he was before. And that was definitely a fun game. Definitely, very, very close. That nuke came down to the wire. Either one of these teams is worthy of being in the finals of this tournament. They played their hearts out, and I think both these teams are taking a step in the right direction. But that's going to do it for us, Dan. I think that's us done here at Anaheim. It's been a pleasure casting with you through these semifinals. It's been
likewise.
some fantastic games, and we're going to have the grand final set up for you now. You got old Gen G, who's been kind of waiting it out, waiting for their time to shine again on stage, and now they know who their opponent's going to be.
And it's going to be a difficult matchup. You're definitely going to be fired up, and I think that leaves us only one last thing to do, Dust. It's time to throw it to a quick break. We'll be back with the analysts to set up, well, to break that one down and to set up the next one. Enjoy.
Well, unfortunately, I was wrong. compLexity not able to take that victory over FURIA. An NA final will not be happening here on North American soil. My bad. I'm your host, Bach, Sean Garrison Potter. What happened? Why did I end up being wrong?
Look, I don't really care why you're wrong. That was a banging series. We got all 3 maps, third map going the distance. I think we saw the best out of both teams. compLexity has nothing they should hang their head on. I know this is going to sting. It's going to hurt a lot. But I was surprised by the grit they had to grind it out from that 9-9 moment where blameF makes the play to jump through into the garage smoke. And then the round, shortly after that, config wins the 1-on-2. Later on, blameF drops down the vent. I mean, they were fearless. And they made plays in the end of that game that I thought they would never make in those scenarios. So hats off to compLexity. FURIA deserved this win, though.
They definitely did, and I gotta say, both of these squads going all the way back to Overpass and even this nuke, the creativity, the buddy system, the trading, everything was top-notch, and you can see that both of these squads really emphasized that trading ability, whether it was that buddy system or whether it was my favorite, just straight up baiting the person and making sure you fully secure that trade. So I thought it was a beautiful series.
I mean, adding on to what you said, the innovation, the boost on Overpass. You love that triple boost, right?
Good.
That's so cool.
Overpass was so interesting because we saw so many times where it felt like compLexity was doing something just really peculiar that didn't make much sense.
Yeah, Overpass was a weird one for compLexity. You can tell they're too new of a team to have a deep enough map pool to probably hang with FURIA on Overpass. They really only had those dry monster hits, and they tried a couple other bomb site B hits, and they were semi-successful, but they couldn't get anything at A, and by the end of the match, it was too readable.
And it was really the same storyline for FURIA going back and bringing it over today. That chokehold, I mean, their aggression, they did not let compLexity breathe whatsoever. It was beautiful to watch from FURIA.
Well, speaking of FURIA, Art over here on the interview couch in the living room. Gonna march on over here. I love that our dining room and our living room, just open floor plan is great.
The oranges are great.
Yeah, the oranges are fantastic. Feel free to help yourself.
Nice.
They've only been sitting out all weekend, and a lot of people have touched them, so don't, yeah, exactly. Congratulations on the win. I guess I should apologize for doubting you guys, because I thought that compLexity would come out and just guns blazing, and to an effect, they did. What was going through your team's mind on map 1 when compLexity was just round after round after round, picking up rounds over you guys?
Actually, on the first map, I think we struggled on the gunfights and the duels. I think on the start of the game, we actually got good reads on them. We knew what they're doing, but it was just hard for us to read the shots. So I think that was our struggle on the start of the Mirage. And after we managed to get some rounds, we believe, but they just kept rolling.
How important was that sort of late comeback, even though you guys didn't take the map, into the second map? Having more rounds, did that help the mental state of the team compared to getting like 16 forward and completely blown out?
No, I don't think so. I think we were confident on, even if we took like 16-2 or 16-3, I think the confidence was the same, because we knew that we just lost on the CT side, and we know our T side is strong, but we just struggled too much on CT for a comeback, so we know it was just a problem on the map, not on overall.
Potter, Sean, you guys have some questions as well.
Yeah, Art, I wanted to ask you about Vinny. I think with his new role, it seems like he's taking over a lot of those aggressive responsibilities that seemed like in 2019 was solely all on you. How has that changed the dynamic within the team for yourself and for Vinny?
I think we're still trying to find our pace at the game, but Vinny is feeling more comfortable now and doing his things and just playing more aggressive. Before he was just playing more passive and support style, and now he's playing more aggressive and chasing for kills. So I think that's better for him. Playstyle that fits him more.
Hey, Art, Sean here. I was curious, when it comes to your guys' playstyle, you guys have a very unique playstyle where you're hyper aggressive. You in particular, actually. Do you prefer to play against teams like compLexity who match your playstyle, or maybe play against a more strategic team like a Genji or a North that you could have faced in the final?
I would say more strategic teams. I think they are easier for us to play because our playstyle fits better against them. Against more teams like this, like us, it's harder for us to play. It's always like that, but we don't really matter. We just want to play.
All right, well, thank you for the interview. I know you guys have a lot of prep work, and you'd probably like to get some food in your stomach before you guys go into that grand final. Good luck later today.
Thank you very much.
Yep. Hey, we are going to walk right on back on over, strut my stuff back to this desk, past the peacock in the red coat. I'm told you have a highlight you really wanted to dig up there, Potter. What is it?
So this is going to be a replay going back to that boost that Sean was mentioning. This is a 3-man boost going over to the overpass. And look, it looks very simple and it looks very easy to execute, but this is all about timing. These guys have been running distractions through that monster. You can see the member in Oboe really dedicated towards that monster because there's so much attention towards there. They throw a nice pop flash coming out of Henny. The timing was perfect. The execution was perfect. And I love seeing innovative, creative plays just like this to really get an easy kill. And it seems like these kinds of ideas, we don't see enough of them. So those kinds of plays gets me excited.
Another small detail to notice about that clip is you saw that Heaven was smoked as well as the outside of the site. And the reason why Furia did that is because if there's a guy in Heaven and you're triple boosting right there, 100% you're dead.
Yeah, he's going to see you while you're trying to jump.
He's going to see your head.
Yeah.
So what you need to do is get people to not look in that direction. You want them to look at the choke points, and that's what they did by throwing all that utility.
Yeah, I mean, it was really cool. And even just checking social media at the time, I was scrolling through Twitter, and I saw multiple pro-level players saying, I don't think I've ever actually seen that done in a match. Like maybe in a pug someone tries that.
Definitely haven't seen it that
but not done that well.
Yeah.
Like how many times do you do a 3-man boost and get 2 kills? Usually it's super sacrificial and you're lucky if you get 1.
Yeah, they had a lot of success with boost too. They did one in like the bench by Sands at Short A where they killed a guy, who was it, like Henny pushing bathrooms?
Something like that, yeah. We saw it multiple times.
Well, both our semifinals are done. We know who's going to be playing in the finals. It's Gen G versus Furia. We're going to throw things to a quick break. When we come back, it'll be the grand finals starting here at DreamHack Open Anaheim 2020. Stay tuned.
To be brilliant is to defy convention and challenge expectations. So Intel will bring the processing power for when it's time to go brilliant. Frame rates that keep up with your reflexes. Brilliant. Fast clock speeds for when you're on the clock. Brilliant. It's what we do at Intel, powering you to master your potential. Will you rise? Intel. Unleash your brilliance.
See the sunlight up the sky. There's rain and clouds go drifting by. Just see the sunlight up the sky. Just see the rain clouds clear away. such a perfect day. It's hard to believe it's only begun. If tomorrow's half as good as today, we'll be fine. We'll be fine. If tomorrow's half as good as today, we'll be fine, fine, fine. Happy faces everywhere. There's beauty all around. Dancing in the street, life tastes so sweet. Sun shining down. Tomorrow's another day, and I just can't wait to do it again. Anything like today's feeling won't go away, and it never ends. If tomorrow's half as good as today, we'll be fine. We'll be fine. If tomorrow's half as good as today, we'll be fine, fine, fine. Remembering yesterday, the day was so good, the day was so fun. Today's such a perfect day, we'll be fine, fine, fine. If tomorrow's half as good as today, we'll be fine, we'll be fine. If tomorrow's half as good as today, we'll be fine,
Suavecito, muy rico se siente cada vez que te veo en mi mente. Solo pienso en ti, no lo quiero admitir. Puedo ver que te pones nervioso, tu carita en tonos de rojo. Cuando estás junto a mí, yo te tengo así. Venga, yo muevo la cadera hasta que te disuelvas. Oh, no hay reglas, haz lo que tú quieras a toda manera. Oh, vente esta noche a mi barrio, tráete el calor de verano. Vamos a bailar muy despacio, vamos. Oh, vente So leave them in the past. Show me that it's not too late. Mama was right, she said love comes out of the blue. Love is finally making sense, and my feelings are intense for you. Give me all your love, I'll take it. Put your hand in mine, we'll make it. And you can have my heart on one condition, you don't break it. Give me all your love, don't take it. Leave your fears behind, we'll make it. You can have my heart on one condition, you don't break it. You don't break it. Give me all your love, I'll take it. Put your hand in mine, we'll make it. This could be for the rest of our lives, yeah. Leave your fears behind, don't fake it. Just one more chance, we'll make it. It's you and me for the rest of our lives, yeah. If you want this heart now, baby, give me all your love, I'll take it. Put your hand in mine, we'll make it. And you can have my heart on one condition, you don't break it. Give me all your love, leave your fears behind, we'll make it. And you can have my heart on one condition, you don't break it. Give me all your love, put your hand in mine, we'll make it. You can have my heart on one condition, you don't break it. I'm yours if you don't break it. Give me all your love, you don't break it. You don't break it. Give me all your love, I'm yours if you don't break it.
I'm a rootin', tootin', trailblazing cowboy, driving my cattle out west. I'm a rootin', tootin', trailblazing cowboy, doing what I do best. I'm a rootin', tootin', trailblazing cowboy, driving my cattle out west. I'm a rootin', tootin', trailblazing cowboy, doing what I do best. I'm a chap wearing saddle, shining cow, branding fire, building lasso, throwing sharp, shooting cowboy. A whiskey drinking, grub eating, bean chewing, pistol loading, cattle herding, spur wearing cowboy. Just a rootin', tootin', trailblazing cowboy, driving my cattle out west. I'm a rootin', tootin', trailblazing cowboy, doing what I do best. I'm a chap wearing saddle, shining cow, branding fire, building lasso, throwing sharp, shooting cowboy. A whiskey drinking, grub eating, bean chewing, pistol loading, cattle herding, spur wearing cowboy. Just a
Hi guys, I'm Bach and I'm over here at the DreamHack Open CSGO stage. As you can see behind me, Ensign MIBR currently underway fighting for their tournament life. Why don't we see if we can find somebody to talk to and ask them what it is about DreamHack that they love. What is it that you love about DreamHack CSGO Open stages besides me and Potter and Sean Gares and Dust and DDK and Hugo and Harry?
The passion.
All right, thanks Eric for talking to me. I appreciate it.
Thank you guys. Adios.
All right, so now I'm over here at the Madden stage. It's kind of like actually playing football, but you don't get to sweat. and you don't get hurt unless you have carpal tunnel. Totally different problem, though. I don't know much about this. I guess it's good. I don't know. People seem pleased. There's a decent crowd here watching currently, and they get pretty hyped. We can hear them backstage sometimes over at the CSGO stage.
Oh, he dropped you! He missed the slot!
We've made our way over here to the Warcraft 3 stage now as well. Warcraft 3, a little bit older of a game, but it's been resurged as Blizzard recently remade the game. You can see behind me the plays going on. There's like elves and dwarves and dryads and all that fantasy shit. I have no fucking clue what's going on. We're over here at the Halo stage now where they're just getting ready to jump into the action. You can see the casters, analysts right behind me. This is the game probably most like Counter-Strike, although it's not really. It's the most like Counter-Strike here, a first-person shooter, but it's got a completely different style, completely different pace. It is played on PC for the first time, actually, and if we shift our focus over this way, we've got Magic going on. This is Magic Arena. It's not the same as the card-based game. It is a TCG, and they like shoot lightning bolts at each other and dress up as Gandalf. I totally lost on this. Not exactly my scene. Well, that about wraps it up for me walking around DreamHack. I realized I know nothing about any of these other games, so I'm going to stick to Counter-Strike, and I'm going to head back here on the desk where I actually know what I'm talking about. See you guys next time.
DreamHack Open is brought to you by Corsair, Intel, Monster Energy, and U.S. Navy.
And welcome back, everyone. It's time to jump into the grand finals here for DreamHack Open Anaheim 2020. And as you saw at the break, I know nothing about anything else that happens at DreamHack. I'm terrible at it.
Yeah.
There's like dryads and dwarves and elves. That's all I know.
Better you than me. I filmed that exact same thing, and mine was a lot like yours, except just
maybe a little more critical.
Better.
Oh.
I thought that was going a different route, a
I'm out
whole
here.
different way.
No.
You want to host then? Let's switch. Here.
I was really.
No, you're better at this. Go ahead. Slide on over.
I was really hoping that they wouldn't use mine, to be honest, because I had no idea what I was looking at.
I will say I know more about Warcraft than I was putting on. I did play ladder matches, but that was like 12, 15 years ago. It was a long time ago.
I've never played, so
I am dating myself so hard. Unfortunately, like I am not doing myself any sort of favors whatsoever. But we finally made it to the grand finals. compLexity is not playing like I expected. A little bit disappointing to not have a full NA final, but it is good to see FURIA playing here. Potter, we've seen them in this position before. Is it their time to shine?
I think so. Like I said yesterday, this is looking like a FURIA 2.0. We've got Vinny being very much involved within the unit. We've got Art finding a newfound success with less aggression than we've seen before in the past, a lot more calculated plays, and their prep coming into this event. You can clearly see it within the server. It's very calculated moves. The decision making, it is superb, and I've been impressed all weekend long.
Yeah, I couldn't agree more with FURIA, right? They look a lot different than they look towards the later half of 2019, where they just only had that aggressive style. They didn't have a second dimension to their game. When we watch them here, you know, we're constantly complementing their boost and their new innovative style that they bring to every map we've seen, actually. So this is definitely a refreshed version of FURIA.
Well, let's go ahead and take a look at the bracket. We'll see how the action kind of shaped up and came together. First match, Gen G versus North. Gen G might look more one-sided when you see that 2-0, but it was 16-13, 16-14 North had ample opportunity, but Gen.G kept kind of shutting them down in situations that should not have occurred. And then on the other side, we already talked about FURIA going over compLexity 2-1. Let's look at that first series, though. Talk about that first series, the Gen.G series. What exactly happened over North?
Gen.G apparently just thrives in these close games because both their games against North, went down to the wire 16-13, 16-14. Same thing goes for their Ents game and compLexity game earlier in the tournament. So it's just they find themselves in these late game scenarios and they can grind it out so well. All of their players stepping up well. We saw Bentet in that last series have banger matches. So, I mean, they're just doing everything very well.
They definitely are. And I mean, even look at this, Tim, with that op coming in huge with some impactful plays. We've been talking about Tim. Is he going to be able to show up? Is his op wielding as powerful as we saw early on in 2019? And it seems like he's starting to feel himself a little bit more and more because he's taking a lot more duels than we saw on that first day.
Yeah, the other player we would really like to talk about, and I'm sure you're going to say his name is Sam. Young Sam has been playing so good for a player who's really playing on this type of stage for the first time in his career.
I think we all saw Sam's potential, right? As a young player, 17 years old, we all knew that he was going to have success eventually, but I don't think anyone would have guessed he would be the second highest rated player in the event and in the finals right now. That is mind-blowing stuff coming out of him, right? We thought he was a little bit behind, I guess, on the IQ plays in CS. He has the mechanical skill, but he's so young, he was making mistakes. Daps has somehow found a way to slot him into this team and fix all of those mistakes.
Exactly, and I mean, the press W religion, it seems like he has honed in on that. I mean, watching him hopping around in the server on a consistent basis, it seems like he's got a nice mixture of FPL and Tier 1 lands and Tier 2 lands, and now it's time for him to just find his sweet spot, find that sweet spot that he's going to be able to be consistent throughout all three of those platforms.
Now, you guys were talking about automatic as well, automatic's op. Is it going to be enough to counter the op on the other side, the op on FURIA? And I'm talking, of course, of Henny. He looked lights out in that series, along with other players from FURIA as well. It seemed like everyone from FURIA was stepping it up.
I think, I'm not expecting these two to run into each other all that much. Tim isn't really the type of opera that's going to get very aggressive. He's not like, a poison that's going to repeat into angles all the time. So, and Henny's the type of player, I've mentioned it time and time again, where he doesn't die, which means he's probably not fighting many operas as much as, the other aggressive ones. So I don't think we'll see these two head-to-head that much. I think they'll both have great series because very rarely do you see either of these players just completely fall off.
Now, the maps are what really has me interested. I'm curious because I started even writing them down ahead of time, and I just started putting question marks because I was like, I honestly don't know. I think we'll see, Nuke and Dust 2 probably banned off the bat?
Probably so. I'm curious whether Gen.G are going to pick Vertigo here or not. I'm hoping that they do. I think they're going to probably go ahead and pick Inferno here, though. The first vetoes, I'm thinking Gen.G are going to have to veto that overpass. We just saw compLexity get handled on that overpass by FURIA, and I think FURIA are going to have to veto Dust 2.
Yeah, FURIA is not playing around on Overpass.
Yeah.
So Gen.G will have to veto Overpass if I had to guess.
There you go.
It is, yep. And this is where things get interesting because Gen.G could pick into, Vertigo or Train even. And that's the key thing to look out for here. FURIA can also go all over the place with their pick.
I think they go Nuke. Yeah, there's the Nuke pick because that's not a strong map. That's the dangerous thing with how well they've been playing on Overpass and understanding that Gen.G is not a strong Overpass team. And we watched that yesterday too when FURIA played against North. They played, or not FURIA, who played against North? It was days ago. I'm getting my days all confused. When FURIA played against North, it was a best of one.
Yeah.
And they looked fantastic on Overpass then as well. So the final map will end up being Mirage, but we do see Nuke Inferno. So not the Vertigo pick, but the Inferno pick that we might have expected.
Yeah, and I'm slightly disappointed in Gen.G. I think that they could have had a one-up in this series, in this grand final series, if they had that pocket Vertigo pick to bust it out here. Inferno certainly does look good for Gen.G, though, but FURIA are just as good on Inferno. We saw on the first day, they pulled out a win. Of course, it was versus Endpoint, and they showed up on the second day.
A little asterisk on that one.
Yeah, and the scoreline was very much one-sided, but we know FURIA are efficient on Inferno, so yeah.
I've actually never been a fan of FURIA's Inferno. I'm going to be quite honest. I think that, similar to MIBR, they falter a lot on their CT side, and I can never trust that they're going to walk away from their CT side with 8 rounds, which is a scary place to be for your map pick in a series.
Yeah, I mean, looking at the stats in general, it doesn't look like it's a map they really have a lot of success on more recently. It seems like it's not something that they would like to play. I can't really give either team an edge, I feel like, with the map pool. Maybe a slight edge to FURIA with that nuke pick.
For sure.
I would have to agree with that.
Because nuke comes out right off the bat and it's like, all right, we just watched them play nuke. So now if anything, they've been kind of figuring out, okay, what do we need to change potentially on nuke? But at the same point in time, you could argue that if Gen G was doing their homework, watching them play, they know exactly what to expect. So there's a lot of balls up in the air. Like we don't really know what to see with this first map.
And
there's a lot of moving parts with FURIA. I don't know what you were going to say, but there's so many moving parts because of Art. Art makes so many plays on the map that I don't even think it's possible to counter him.
We were wondering what's going on towards that vent. Multiple occasions we saw Vent hopping around the vent. They did a double boost in the smoke in the vent. They have a lot of creative strategies through that. And not to mention, Yuri just beast moded it on nuke in that semifinal. So carrying it over to the grand finals, I'm sure he's going to be able to continue that sort of success right here.
Well, we did sit down with the players before the semifinals, so why wouldn't we sit down with them before the finals to ask them about their journey thus far? Let's take a peek.
The kills are coming in all in favor of Gen G. Oh, Storm, that was through his teammate to finish off the remaining 2.
It feels so amazing. I mean, this is the long time I play in the grand final. We feel more confident, I mean, after beating North, and we're just gonna stay focused and play our game. I think we can take the trophy.
Opportunity to clutch this one out. A 1v2, they don't know where he is. He nails the first and the second.
I think we expected like a good game against them. We need to revenge because we lost them on the Katowice qualifier. So now it's our turn. I wish GG a good final, but this we will take it.
Let's get this final going. We will destroy you guys.
Hansel is a savage.
Let's go!
Hansel Ferdinand. He's
Guys
coming in
gone.
swinging. I love it. Very fired up. If you actually saw, there were some pictures that went out. He's a very mute player, like personality-wise. When you look at him on stage, he's not necessarily going to get up and scream, but he still was fired up.
Hey, if I'm Hansel Ferdinand, I'm sitting there thinking, why didn't I move to NA a lot sooner? I could have been farming these guys all these years, but he finally comes over to NA, and within 1 month, he's in a grand finals at a DreamHack Open. So those are stories you can definitely write home about, and it's definitely impressive that Bentet actually showed up today in that semifinals, just because, we were wondering, is he going to be able to find that comfort level within a new squad that's as structured as DAP's teams tend to be?
He has had tons of success already, and he's playing the bomb sites with Sam, and their teamwork together is next level. Honestly, I'm surprised that their communication is so strong, given the fact that, Bentet is coming from, the Asian region, first time coming to NA to play for a team, and then Sam is a young kid, probably not used to communicating well in top tier 1 teams, but together, they just play off of each other so well.
I think the coolest thing about this was when he first came over, I had a flashback to Splice, the machine gun bring in. I'm like, oh no, is this going to be like that? Because everyone talked about how Machine Gun was this promising talent in Southeast Asia, and then he came and played for Splice, and it fell apart so quickly. He ended up going back to Mongolia, and then his career just sort of evaporated at that point. Because the fear is, if you come here and it doesn't work, that's it. You've sort of laid it all on the line.
And I have to mention something that you touched on a little bit earlier, Mark, before we move over to the FURIA side, is about Kusta. You mentioned that he's a little bit of an underrated player, and it seems like all his past teammates have nothing but good, positive things to say about him, and he brings those undervalued values towards the team and brings that impact in that manner as well.
Now we will jump on over to the other side. The FURIA boys, they got a nice little break after that long series over compLexity, the 2-1 win, but they're settling back down and getting ready to jump into the server. So you can see Vinny, K. Serrato, Art, Henny, Yuri, they all showed up at various points throughout the tournament. Probably one of the craziest plays, though, is that K. Serrato 2-tap with the SD on the stairs. Like, if he doesn't do that, I don't know how much differently that round goes, and that map actually could have shifted compLexity.
Yeah, the skill on this team is just through the roof, right? Yuri, top-rated player in the entire event so far. And K. Serrato, obviously, he's been sought after so much in the Brazilian scene, particularly by MIBR. Can't get him. Vinny, on the other hand, he's the one that everyone overlooks, but he has had some monster performances. Aces on pistol round, that vent round at 14-14 to get them in the finals. the fact that he swung out and gets 3 kills from that spot when all of compLexity is there, he's just gotten so many impactful kills.
So many impactful kills indeed, and I have to agree with you. All 5 of these members certainly seem like they can absolutely show up. Those 2 taps you were talking about, Mark, from Quesarado, when we were watching them in that green room in that moment, I was like, this is his aim. He's totally going to 1-tap both of these guys coming in. So that kind of confidence as a viewer watching the player, that's amazing to have, just because you know he's going to be able to be good for 2 there.
Right now, FURIA 2 riding that high coming into the series. There's a question of whether or not it's exhaustion or like that energy that's coming in too. Like, are they tired or are they amped up because of that win over compLexity?
I think they're amped up, right? Now, if it was drawn out an extra hour, I think they could crash. If this first map goes, 3-0-2s and they lose, I'm gonna go ahead and count them out for the second map, in fact. But I think they're riding that high still. They have the momentum. They're feeling good. And they have yet to lose a game. Both the teams in the finals, actually, they're the teams that went 2-0.
Yeah, how about that?
Yeah.
Didn't even think about that. Now, looking at the opposition, Gen G, they may have had that easier trip here in general. They haven't actually lost a single map yet, but they had a long break. Is that break something that could be detrimental?
I'm going to say no. I think these guys are on a honeymoon period right now, and I think they're learning as they go, and that just means they're a little bit more loose. They have a little bit less to lose, and they got a freestyle movement going on here over on the Gen G side of things, so I think that should bode well for them to have less pressure on their shoulders.
Now, FURIA 2 has been together for a while. Obviously, some of the pieces for Gen G just falling into place more recently, but Daps brings in a ton of structure. Is that going to be a deciding factor? Is that structure from Daps going to be strong enough to match up against this team that's been playing together for a while?
I mean, that's the ultimate question, right? Is will the structure be able to stop FURIA's aggression? Most of the time, outside of the top, tier 1 teams, the answer is no, honestly. It's very difficult to stop a team like FURIA, and it's not because what they do is so unbeatable. It's because what you see in practice day in and day out is so different, and you can't get scrim partners like FURIA. You just can't. It'd be like if you're in the NBA and you're about to go up against Shaq, right? There's not many people in practice that you can play that'll get you prepared to play Shaq.
That's so true. And yeah, you're right. FURIA's relentless aggression is definitely going to be the crux for Gen G because of that structure you mentioned. The crossfires, they're heavily dependent on those, especially on the defensive side. We saw complexities crumble under the aggression coming out of FURIA. So I think that is definitely going to be a key factor here.
Prediction time, Christine. We'll start with you. Are you going with your boys on FURIA?
Yes, I am. I'm going to go with FURIA here. I do, once again, my heart is with Gen G. I'm a huge fan of all of these players, but I got to go with FURIA here. They've been impressing me all weekend long, and I think they're going to take it all the way. You're already getting ready.
All right. Taken away from my prediction like this, I'm going to go FURIA. FURIA's going to win this.
FURIA's going to win this, you say.
It's hard. It's hard for me to do that to my boy.
Did you hear that noise? What was that? There's something over there, I think. Oh, okay. I'm going with Gen G, because somebody's got to be a fan of North American CS. What is this? I've been sabotaged. That's the second time, CG operator. I'm coming after you. I'm not super pleased. You did this. I wanted Gen G, and they gave me FURIA.
You're muted right now on stream.
It's okay. You have the proof in the sweater.
Yeah, exactly. No more of this. Oh, watch it back without the sound there, Sean. Let's take a look at the Twitch chat as well, see if you guys are vibing with me, and you are. Gen G swinging for the fences. 67% of the viewers at home thinking that they're going to take the win over top of FURIA. The Brazilian fans just haven't been showing up.
I'm disappointed in the Brazilian fan base. Honestly, what's going on? Is it because MIBR is just
shocking.
Kind of flopping?
Yeah.
They're all just fair weather now? They're going to Gen G?
It's weird.
What's going on?
Gen G is the new hope.
Or do we have that many more NA fans all of a sudden? We've got 3 contending NA teams now coming up, and now we've got all of a sudden a lot of NA fans in Twitch chat?
Well, the last time a North American team won a DreamHack Open Denver 2017, it was in October of that year. And you know who did it? Cloud9. Who was on that team? Automatic. Who's on the team right now that's in the finals? Automatic. That's why it's going to happen. We're going to throw things to a break. When we come back, you're going to watch Automatic hoist that trophy. Stay tuned. Mexico to Japan. London to Tokyo, New York to Fresno.
It's the moment you've all been waiting for, the grand finals here of DreamHack Anaheim 2020. FURIA taking on Gen G, Harry. Certainly not the matchup we expected coming into this event. And Gen G, I think, are the biggest surprise of all, right? These guys just form, they come to their first DreamHack Open, and they make a hell of a run. Yet to drop a map, both these teams yet to drop a series, and now we got to see who will be the first to fall.
Yeah, I mean, this is so exciting, and I think the fact that Gen G have come here and made such a statement right up here, as you say, they haven't dropped a map yet to get to the grand finals. Things are looking up for NA Counter-Strike right now. And then over on the other side of the fence, we've got FURIA, right? The Brazilian hope, the only Brazilian team left fighting its way through here, now find themselves in the grand finals, in the head-to-head, and this is exactly where FURIA want to be.
Yeah, and you know, with MIBR already dropping, that's the biggest surprise. FURIA, they've got big shoes to fill if they want to take up this position, and a best of three that we are jumping right into. No waiting around here as we start things off over on Nuke. It's the pick of FURIA. It's a Brazilian boy starting on that T side, and I'm sure they're going to bring the heat.
Yeah, immediately going to be showing some presence in towards the lobby. FURIA slowing down early on. We already saw a Nuke game from them just moments ago, and that was the Trailblazer, so hopefully this one can go in the same sort of fashion. Daps his dualies. They'll meet their demise up on top of the hut, but in the meantime, actually, kills have come in from Kusta. They try and get this bomb down through the vents, and while they do get 3 players down,
they haven't got the bomb.
That is the problem. Oh, it's not. Oh, he's got it down. In his dying breath, he has dropped the bomb down the vent. So there is still a chance here for FURIA, and that kill there from Vinny is going to help out massively.
At this point, you're playing deathmatch. You're not even worrying about the package. A minute on the clock, and FURIA need the kills. That wrap from Vinny does net 1, and K-Serato's going to be able to pick it back up. Gen G, they've realized it has been retrieved by the likes of FURIA. The question is, which site will it go to? You can always climb back up the vents, and Som seems to be aware of that. He is ready in the squeaky door, holding for the cross towards A. Bentet, in the meantime, down in the depths below. That smoke facilitating the path towards Deacon, and the cover from the door is there. Window shot does dink Bentet down low. Som's coming through the vents, and the retake is on.
Yeah, now just K-Serato left to beat, but many a man have tried and failed to do exactly that. Bomb's ticking away. He doesn't have armor. He's got this flashbang to try and force one of these engagements. He's just caught the timing here, but they've literally and metaphorically shut the door on him. K-Serato trying to get up into the window. They're on the bomb. They're sticking it. Damage done. He gets the first man off, but it's not the diffuser. Tom stuck it. And K-Serato, even though he gets the kills, it's not the round. Gen G are going to get that one locked in and get off to a good start here on Nuke.
I love that play from Som. He's spinning on the bomb. He sits directly above it, meaning he can just 360 and 360, make his hitbox really, really hard to hit, and K-Serato can't close out the round. Som has been a pleasure to watch in this tournament, dropping 30s left and right. Such a young player, and Gen G, they will start things off on the right foot here on the CT side. 1-0 lead, forced by FURIA. They've got guns behind that money from the bomb plant. Couple of Kriegs here. What can they do with them?
Oh, once again, trying to get out through the squeaky door, and they do actually manage to get a man down. Oh, just about slips by. And now with the man down in towards B, this is going to throw a bit of disruption into the back line of Gen G. We can see Bentet heading down towards this B bomb site, and he's actually spotted Art. In the meantime, automatic, that could be a meaty nade, but actually, not that great. Damage done through the smoke, however. It's going to leave the majority of these FURIA players low, and this is ideal for Gen G. Now they can just have these SMGs, this scout, kind of finish these tagged up players off as they try and get into this B bomb site.
Yeah, Gen G know exactly what's going on. They've got numbers here, and the rotates are already coming down from the top site. K-Serato, crucial kill, but he gets tagged coming through that door, and the damage painted even further across this FURIA roster. Still they're finding kills. Low HP, not holding them back, but automatic with a flick shot to keep Gen G in this. The bomb once again dropped in no man's land, and automatic, he waits for no man. Second headshot of the round, and one by one, FURIA falling here. This Krieg from Yuri's got to do it all, and he's not exactly got a boatload of time either. That bomb in the middle of nowhere, and this is surely going to be a closed round by Gen G. It will. Som shuts it down. 2 from him, 2 from Orti, and it's going to be Gen G going 2-0 up.
Yeah, not breaking under the pressure. I mean, those rounds are the ones that you always see get out of hand, right? Where one player slips down into that B-bomb site, the outside smokes go in, you force port around it, they can get out of hand very, very quickly. So Gen G doing a stellar job of staying on top of this one. And now there's no money left for FURIA, so this should be the 3-0 start that Gen G were looking for here.
I like how consistently FURIA are throwing this mini utility, right? Getting that smoke down always is going to make Gen G question whether a player is lower. They're combining it with the Molotov on the hut roof as well. So Daps, he's being forced into a lot of these engagements. Now in this round, it works wonderfully. They are armorless pistols after all. But I'm even thinking back to the Julies where he gets knocked off by that molly. Great utility from FURIA, but again, it's something that Gen G are to expect. They just watched FURIA play this exact map, and boy, did that go the distance.
Yeah, I'm curious how we're going to see Daps try and play with this top hut position, right? Because already these first 3 rounds, every single one of them, we've seen them try and force that early fight. So it's going to be interesting to see. You know, you can just sit up there with the smoke if you're Daps. You can just wait around and be ready for it. And now that we've got this full buy coming in, we're going to see exactly how he wants to deal with this problem. Krieg's across the board for FURIA. No surprises there. Smokes and flashes going down towards outside now to facilitate this bomb cross. Molotov throwing in as well. That's going to flush out any potential close players. Automatic, falling back into CT spawn. Looking for a gap in this smoke, but he can't quite find anything. He's just got to fall on back into hell here. Now, these smokes are going to start to dissipate. FURIA, they haven't crossed into secret. Instead, they're trying to go for this mini wrap now that these smokes have faded. Daps, the timing there is not in his favor. He'll get picked up, and this now leaves Som inside of this A-bomb site. He's running out of teammates. He's going to try and make a stand all alone, and he will get the first player off of the tally. 1 minute and 5 seconds, so still plenty of time for FURIA to switch things up, but they're committed, they're going in, and Gen G, they're falling apart at the seam.
I like how slow FURIA are there once they get the first couple of kills. They just hold default. They know there's another player on the A site, and once they figure out Som's there, they don't rush him. He is the one going in for the peaks, and FURIA just holding with Krieg are going to get the advantage in those engagements. Bentet is trying to find an AWP, I presume, but he can't get it. And he's being hunted as well. Vinny dead. But now the position's been given up, and now they can send in the cavalry. Bentet, can he escape? He's really trying to find this AWP, and he gets it, but he won't get away with his life. Keserato up and above the red box is going to clean that one up. And it's going to be FURIA finding their first here on this T side, getting in nice and early, not letting Gen G run away too heavily. Money's not great for Gen G either. They've got the rifles in, but limited utility, and we know that FURIA love to put the pressure on early and get players out through this door. Not going to be the case in this round. They go for the outside smokes, but Gen G have just got to respect that and give them the control.
Oh, well, they give them the control towards outside, though. If we look on the minimap, Automatic and Bentet, they're actually starting to go aggressive. By the looks of things over here towards B. They've taken this little foothold over in the radio room. So they give with one hand towards outside, but they take with the other here on this lobby approach. They're going to get information that this side of the map looks to be clear. Now, Keserato is still floating around here, but if you're Gen G, you've got a great idea as to where FURIA might end up. They've spotted a bunch of players towards outside. But Daps and Kusta have been picked up in the meantime. 3-on-3, FURIA, they've closed the gap, they've closed the distance, and this is where this lobby push now has to yield some results for Gen G. It's going to make or it's going to break this round. Are they ready for Keserato, who has been waiting patiently all round long?
Timing is everything. Bentet's on the angle. He spotted Keserato. This fight already put him low. Keserato swings and he gets that kill. Som is stuck alone on A, but he has support from the heavens. Not for long. Automatic getting domed, and Som pushes the lobby to take the control back. But in this meantime, he loses the A site and even the fight. Yuri forcing it, not even going for the bomb plant there with low time, and it will work out for him. FURIA doubling down on the rounds. You could see Gen G knew exactly what was going on in that round. They were trying to put a lot of onus on taking that lobby control, but Keserato, I love how slowly he goes into those fights, how late he comes into play. He doesn't show anything, and Gen G get a full sense of security inside of that lobby. They've now been broken, pistols out, USPs in the P250.
Yeah, no skin in this round for Gen G. It is just these pistols. So this is where FURIA are looking to tie things up and build up some money. That's a wallbang onto Som there. Pretty unfortunate he's found. That's actually the one upgraded pistol that was in this round for Gen G. I don't think we needed to worry about it very much to begin with, though. And FURIA just kind of demonstrating this very, very measured approach once again. They're not keen on running fast, as we saw early on, into these A hits, right? We haven't seen that hot Molotov come back in. They feel like they've found the recipe to success here in these slow plays. And this will be another one as they get this bomb planted up on the A bomb site.
Yeah, Gen G put Stack down on the B site, at least in this round, hoping that Som could try and hold on to A, but with that man going down, FURIA just sent in a lurk player and they cleared out the A site completely. Now it's all about getting the kills. And Art, he's very keen for that as well. He spotted a couple deep towards the CT yard, but these players are just waiting. And Art, he definitely doesn't need to give away a gun. He'll fall off, let his team pick up the pieces of this round, and those pieces will be picked up fairly quickly. It's going to be a third for FURIA, equaling up with that of Gen G. But Guns at least coming back in. That was almost a team kill at the end of the round. Henny was shooting a gun over to Vinny to upgrade his MAC-10, and he almost killed Art, but not quite. No AWP here for automatic either, so rifles out for Gen G, but it's far from perfect.
Yeah, we've already seen Gen G try and fight this this slow style from FURIA with these lobby takes. I was going to say maybe we see something different in this round, but FURIA throwing in this volley of nades that they were doing earlier on, and they try to assemble this boost. Now that, he must have seen something there. This bomb's going in, and these two players at the vents are brought down low. Kusta is already down here at B as well, trying to keep his eye on the vent position. Molotov is going to burn Art out into the open. Gen G, this is a great little adjustment to deal with this aggression from FURIA. Even spotting and getting rid of that kind of impromptu, not really seen before boost over at those vents. Bentet now over at the ramp room. Ooh. One man has gotten out, and he didn't actually spot that there were two players here. All they've seen is Serato. Vinny's close position over at Hell. Not going to net a kill for FURIA, but it does get them this 2v4 down towards the B bomb site.
Kusta's been hit all round long though, just patient. Smoke out, trade is there for Vinny, but 4 HP means a clutch is very unrealistic. He'll get the plant, no one here in time for anyone to stop that bomb from getting planted. And Vinny, he's gone back up, but he's heard the footsteps automatic, giving away his position. Vinny's hit a shot, surely not. Daps is going to close it from the doors, and Gen G will get that retake after all. Like you say, great adjustment from Gen G, right? Immediately putting Kusta down on that lower bomb site, taking players out of the yard. They had no AWP to contend for anyway, so Kusta's able to watch that vents, stop Art from getting behind enemy lines, because even if Art doesn't get a kill from that position and just gets down towards B, you know there's a timer on that play. He can go anywhere. He can come up the vents if they want to go for an inner split. He can flank ramp to try and assist his team to take control of that area. He can even go up secret and fight yards. So you definitely want to have a player dealing with these vent dives that FURIA are constantly going for. And we'll see if that continues to be the case.
And I mean, we're talking about the reactions, the cooling of this Gen G squad. And for that, I mean, you got to look no further than the man who was just on our screens, Daps, right? You think about his 2.5-year tenure in NRG, consistently had players coming in and out, going through the doors, and was always kind of lifting the level that they were playing at throughout his tenure there in that squad. And I think, that experience, that exposure to having to play with so many different styles, so many different types of players, that's what makes him such a good leader here, especially when you do have, some of these young guns in the team. He's got his ideas, he knows what he wants, and he's kind of already got that vision as to how he wants this squad to look.
And I mean, if NRG wasn't evidence enough, right, of how he can, as you say, lift his players' performance, look at how well Som's playing, right? At least under Envy, we didn't really see anything from this young guy. And now under the leadership of Daps, well, he is just playing out of his mind, dropping 30s at a DreamHack Open like it's nothing. So definitely some, praise got to go the way the in-game leader here of Gen G got them in this position in the first place, but how much further can they go? That's our question.
While we wait for these little issues to be put to bed, we can actually take a look at the money inside of the game, Hugo. We can take a look at the scene there, because it's been a little while since we've seen some Counter-Strike on our screens. Now, obviously, with that last round, only 2 players survived for Gen G, so they know they're not out the woods just yet in terms of these money troubles that could be cropping up any moment now. FURIA, they've kind of dodged that pretty nicely as a result of keeping those 3 rounds that they were able to get. You know, they keep 2 out of 3 of them very, very clean. So the money's built up here for the T side. FURIA, sure, they're down a round, but they're actually in a pretty good spot to turn this around. It's in kind of like this pivot point, right? These are, you'll see a few of these in a game of Counter-Strike where the money is in a spot where you can just put your opposition on the back foot, right? You can just springboard yourself ahead by a couple of rounds. And we're kind of about to head into one of them. So this next round is actually very important for both of these squads.
Yeah, especially considering FURIA on the T side, right? Being 1 round behind is nothing to be ashamed of at all. Nuke, a map that Gen G showed to be at least prolific on that CT side in their opening day. We had them taking on ENCE. They were receiving a bit of a beating, and they managed to pull an 11-round comeback to actually close out that map on the CT side in the opening matchup and knock ENCE down to the lower bracket in their group, or the lower matchup in their group, which eventually ended them getting eliminated. That's pretty damn impressive.
As we can see there, we've got our admins on stage taking a look at this. I've heard there's a cable that's getting changed. I don't know what that means. I mean, I guess there's a cable getting changed,
that's
right?
Means,
but like, I don't know what cable. I don't know what's happened. I don't know what they've done. But Gen G, they're sabotaging both the stage and trying to get in the heads of FURIA maybe with this little extended pause. Let's see.
Yeah, there's nothing rougher than this as a player as well, just having to sit there. You know, you can't talk in these technical timeouts. You can't discuss, your upcoming round with your team. You sometimes see these long tech timeouts end, and then immediately a tactical timeout is called, just so a team can get back on the same page, make sure, okay, we know what we're doing, here's our role, here's our plan. Because even just a minute or 2 can really throw a spanner in the works, especially on that T side. That being said, I'm sure FURIA are happy with the break. They have played a long-ass best-of-3 earlier on just a moment ago, including on Nuke as well. So they went the distance against compLexity, 30 rounds there. Honestly, at one point, it really did look like compLexity's game. I mean, it went both ways, right? FURIA was leading heavily at the start of Nuke.
That was such a... something else that made that semi-final so good is, you could see out in the crowd, obviously, we always go on about it, man. We talk about Jason Lake more than we talk about compLexity at this point. But he was out there.
compLexity.
Yeah. Mr. compLexity was out in the crowd, and the fans were with him, and it was so insane to see, right? Like, having that level of interaction is something that's so unique to esports. You know what I mean? Like, you don't get that close to your favorite football players. You don't get that close to the owner of, I don't know, some huge organization,
no,
right?
Not since the restraining order.
Yeah, and ever since then, unsurprisingly, they've just turned me away every single time. But that's one of the things that's so great about this, Hugo. Now, obviously, I actually quite like these lull in the actions. It just lets us kind of sit here and ramble on. Looking at this Gen G squad, another interesting player that I wanted to talk about was Automatic, right? And for him, I'm hoping this could be his road to recovery, right? And same really for Rush over in compLexity, because these two, they've been the 2 players from that Cloud9 squad, not including Skadoodle, obviously, who went to retirement, who are yet to even win an event since picking that major up.
Damn. While ago, Harry. 2 years.
Yeah. And it feels like it was yesterday. I still think it's exciting times for NA Counter-Strike right now. We've got, what, 3 NA teams in the top 20?
Yeah,
potentially 2 more on the rise.
That's not even just including teams that play within the NA scene that aren't necessarily from North America. So yeah, a lot of excitement in that sense. No longer the days of NACS lull, right? That's always appreciated. Now it's UKCS lull. Sadly.
I mean, even that's on the rise.
Yeah,
Endpoint did it right here.
Yeah, I'll take it.
So anything is possible. I like it that we can see what the players are doing in this time. Dav's like so stone-faced, so concentrated on this grand final.
See, if I was in one of these pauses, I'd just tab out and play Minesweeper. Keep that mind active.
Crunker.io, actually, in the web browser.
Make sure you got your brain still working at maximum level. Harry, you were wondering what cable is having a problem. It's the headset specifically. So one of the most important cables, I guess, in the game. I guess you could just have a wireless headset. That kind of negates that. I'm a wireless mouse user myself.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Big fan, or?
Yeah, of course. Why would I want a wire getting in the way?
It's hard to go back, isn't it?
Yeah. Som's probably wishing he had no wires either, but you know, can't always be that way. I mean, he does have no wires right now because
yeah, that's the problem actually.
Yeah.
Funnily enough, there we go. There's a headset just been delivered to the stage. First of many times you're going to have to deal with this.
Here we go. It looks good. It looks like we're getting back into things at least, and that's always appreciated.
One of the things that's so wild to me is what Mark said over on the desk about NA not having won a DreamHack Open since Denver back in 2018. And the team that did that was Cloud9 with Automatic on, which is even more astonishing perhaps. Maybe history could repeat itself here today. I see the headsets back on. I think we're all ready. This young man has decided we can continue. And it looks like this pause might be coming to a close. Hugo, do you want to kind of summarize where we're at? Because it's been a while since we saw Counter-Strike on these screens. We've been looking at those wonderful faces up on the stage for a little too long now. Let's get them off. And let's focus on the Counter-Strike.
Yeah, 7 rounds in. Gen G 4-3 up on the CT side of Nuke. They took those opening 3 rounds. FURIA bounced back with the rifle rounds going their way. And finally, Gen G have put a stop to it. But only temporarily, Harry. As said, the money on the edge of things here for Gen G. They've got to buy, but those Molotovs are going to be scarce. And the AWP is going to be lacking as well. FURIA on the other side are krieged up and ready to go. And ladies and gentlemen, thank you for waiting around. We are back into the business. Gen G FURIA, Nuke, Map 1, the grand final, DreamHack Anaheim.
And FURIA, they might not waste any time here. They were a little bit bored sitting around waiting, and now they try and go fast towards outside. It's actually Kusta to beat them to the punchline, though. He's got Automatic alongside him as well. These smokes have gone in, and that's just going to cut outside in 2. Kusta's made noise. They know he's here. They know there's a man nearby, and there's the lineup. Yuri able to finally get that trade onto Kusta. Better late than never. Automatic has still been able to keep this in favor of Gen G, though, and that bomb was just spotted towards outside. Automatic still floating around, still taking heads off, and once again, that bomb is back in the prying eyes of Gen G.
Automatic giving us the best example of why it can be dangerous to buy Kriegs on the T side. If you give them over, you give such a powerful weapon to a defensive side who's just aiming on holding angles. Bentet's moving into one, and he'll find Henny inside of the lobby. That was the one luck player FURIA had. They put so much onus in taking outside in this round, and they barely got past the red box. Quesorato got to clutch it out on his own. 1 on 3. 2 players on this top site as well. Som still sitting back behind the silo, ready and waiting, and a man up above. Actually, rather, that is Som. So Bentet sitting on the site. And Quesorato, he's not seen the legs just yet. This could catch him off.
Oh, he's gotten down through the vents. He's actually just caught this timing to sneak down and around. Daps is the one man at this B-bomb site. He's hidden up on the silo, though, and it's not going to get checked. Quesorato, this should be his undoing. Daps just swings out. Easiest kill of his career. Gen G, they're going to take that 5th round. They do it pretty cleanly as well. 3 players staying alive here over on this CT side. Kriegs kept forward as well. They're going to be feeling very happy about that. And perhaps most importantly for Gen G, they've finally broken FURIA's money here. This is where they're going to try and hop, skip, jump themselves a few rounds ahead.
Yeah, barely any investment here for FURIA, so more just a run-over round for Gen G. You can't expect more than a couple of kills off of this Deeg. Vinny with the only real skin of the game right now. Arts managed to get himself on main roof, but Kusta has been playing this garage position, making sure he watches for the mini split, allowing them to get down towards Secret, but we've already seen those early rotations that Gen G have had. Daps down on B in the past, and Bentet as well. The only danger, of course, is if you're on main roof, Arc can jump around the corner and avoid Kusta's view. Now, the shadow might give away information, but it's all about the timing. Will Kusta catch it? Because they are run boosting right now.
Yeah, I was going to say, they're going to run boost high over the top. But no, he still saw it. He still sees Art there trying to drop into main. I like the attempt. I like the idea. Oh, my word. This Krieg is doing more damage. Here's the Glock. smites him down. That's now a weapon picked up over outside. There's still a little ways to go before this gets out of hand, and they've actually even shut down Yuri. So one player who could have grabbed the Krieg. So Gen G, they should be quick to get this round back under control.
Again, they've had to concede outside here. They have no one watching it. That's giving a lot of room for these two players. They could grab that Krieg. Of course, they don't know whether it's being watched or not, but it's worth the risk. Keserato running wild for that weapon. 20 seconds, though, and Buntet's come out from above and dropped Vinny. Only one man left up, armed, but he throws it actually out of the map. Won't let Gen G re-secure that weapon. Smart play from Keserato, ending the round nice and quickly as well, and giving Gen G that 6-3 lead. FURIA, though, coming back in with guns. Still going to be lacking the AWP, but on the T side of Nuke, that's really not the end of the world, and Gen G haven't really been running one themselves. Finally, that will change. The gun coming out and thrown over to Automatic.
Yeah, I feel like this is the second AWP we've seen him have, and he didn't really fare too well with it the first time around. Pause called on in. This time it's for FURIA, and they're looking to discuss tactics here heading into round number 10. A few seconds to make sure everyone's on the same page, and maybe we see them switch things up now. They've been going for this kind of slow default, these outside smokes getting thrown in the majority of these rounds. We've seen these fast A plays attempted with the hot Molotov. And I think now's the time for a classic kind of FURIA misdirection where they do just throw something unexpected into the works here.
Yeah, that Molotov, that's going to be a bit of a problem for the smokes. Gen G trying to disrupt the wall here for FURIA. It's not going to do too well, though. Mollies do land correctly, but the smokes bloom entirely on them, so there's still a wall to cross behind for FURIA. They're scared of someone being inside of the secret, though, taking it slow. Automatic, he is exactly there, not playing on the stairs, but instead waiting with the AWP. FURIA haven't had to deal with anyone in this position before, but they definitely seem aware of the possibility. Kusta's been spotted in the garage as well. I have to fall back for now, but that might at least bait FURIA into expecting less control down towards that B site, considering there is still yard presence for Gen G. Yuri's still not budging. He'll take his sweet time down lower as Kusta watches the mini-split. And the rest of FURIA is still inside of the lobby, ready and waiting to burst A if need be. That door smoke has faded, and they are setting up utility towards the top site.
Yeah, that's the good thing about this hold, is you can very much play based around what you see and what you hear, right? How you see Gen G are responding to this problem of players getting by outside. One player has gone rotating down towards that B-bomb site. In the meantime, Yuri's actually left secret and is now trying to grab this hell position. They're looking to split this A-bomb site, and this is where Som has really got to try and make a difference, and instead, he's shut down and wished immediately. Automatic now getting up through those secret stairs. Buntet over in heavens, and at least now they've got it back into this 2-on-2. That's courtesy of Automatic. Keserato hidden down beneath heaven. Oh, he's so blind, and there's the kill. 1v1 now, and it's found for Automatic as he takes everybody down. 3 kills there, grabs the AWP, gets that defuse, and they're not ready to give FURIA a 4th round just yet.
He even throws a killer flashbang for Buntet that blinds Keserato on the site. You would assume Buntet's going to come in wide and get that kill, but Automatic just steals it away, man. What a perfect round from him, swapping out to the Krieg, moving through FURIA's own smoke, and winning that retake on his own. Gen G, a real lead right now, 7-3. We were talking about how 4-3 was anyone's game, but FURIA's money's been broken twice now, and they are once again on pistols. Hero AK for Henny, and a MAC-10 for Art. We might see a vent dive attempt at least, but Molotov's down for Gen G, trying to stop exactly that. Some dodging potential flashbangs. We haven't seen anyone go ramp really, apart from that one round where they crept Yuri and Keserato out into position. Buntet has yet to be tested, and he's going to get a bit of a push his way. Gets one. Automatic in on the rotate. Buntet's dropped down towards B. Automatic needs to be careful. They're getting closer, and his AWP could be gifted away to these pistols. It will be. Now Heaven opened up as a route. FURIA can go round the world if they want.
Yeah, this is a very unorthodox round of Counter-Strike. They've ended up in this like weird in-between nether realm of ramp and this heaven position. They're grouping up over towards Hell, but the bomb is still back at ramp room, and Buntet's actually going aggressive here, starting to clear ramp. Now, this could come back to hurt Gen G based on how successful this is, because now FURIA come back to the ramp room, and that's Buntet eliminated. Sure, he gets the information, but this is going to leave Kusta all alone. 1v4 required, and rifles picked up for everyone on this FURIA side. The AWP even gained as well. This is a damn near impossible 1v4 for this man.
Yeah, and the money's low as well. You could justify saving the weapon, but he seems interested in going for it. The tag is there, and that might just call him off of this round. But FURIA, they've got his position, and they might just try and hunt him down. Climbing back up through the vents if they let him, and they will for the time being. Back towards a T-spawn. He avoids the bomb radius and avoids death. That's an M4 saved here for Gen G, but ultimately FURIA very happy with that round. They half buy, they put a 1 AK and a Mac 10 into the investment, and they come out with a round win and 4 alive. Even a free AWP as well, and that's something that FURIA have not been able to afford so far this game. So big success for FURIA in round number 11.
Yeah, this is going to leave Gen G in a pretty awkward little spot now. They've actually, so I was curious if they were going to prioritize getting this AWP back in the hands of Automatic, and you understand why they've gone for it here. Henny, now with an AWP over on the side of FURIA, you want something to combat that. This fast A play's been thrown in, and it might be the perfect solution to these problems. Som's back in the bomb site, still alive, still kicking, albeit narrowly. He's helped out a bit by Kusta, getting another, and oh dear, they've now combined for yet another kill in favor of Gen G. 2 versus 4, FURIA, blink and you miss it. They are massively on the back foot. That Molotov, it gets a little bit dicey. But this bomb is in the prying eyes of everyone on Gen G right now.
Som just burning all his utility, making matters worse for FURIA. That door smoke allows Kusta to reposition, but he doesn't even need to. FURIA don't have a Molotov to counteract this position, and it's such a strong one if that's the case. Might not matter. Automatic's found yet another kill, and it's going to be Vinny coming in through the door. Kusta can just play the timing, and he swings out wide. Missed shot. Vinny given an opportunity here. How much more can he get? It's a double peek from multiple layers, and Automatic just whips him out with the pistol. Gen G, 8 rounds here on the CT side. That was a low buy for them. That was a perfect call, albeit for FURIA, where they rush out of A. They know that Gen G don't have the utility to hold, but Som holds his own at the back of the site, smokes himself off, buys time, and everyone comes rotating in to play around that bomb. FURIA, reinvestment from them, but this is turning out to be a dicey half after all.
Yeah, once again, they go back to this early A utility. Now, I haven't really seen it yield the results that FURIA are wanting it to thus far, right? Outside of that one round where they're able to get into A, they get those openers, and a lot of it is just kind of hinged on being able to best Som over inside of the bomb site. And that's not something that you've been able to do consistently if you're FURIA. I'm not entirely sold, but this time they've been able to get a man down through the vents. That was the idea with that smoke cross. Buntet's already down at B. Daps is here alongside. A bomb is planted, and FURIA running away with this round. Now 5-on-3. Buntet, still an unknown factor, still an unknown entity, now making his presence known. Needs a little bit more, spraying away. Buntet in with a second, and oh no, this is now back in favor of Gen G on this retake. Buntet's gonna tap the bomb, tries to bait the peak. Keserato, sprays, but not quite the kill. And now Som versus Yuri. Smoke is down on the bomb, but they don't have a kit, and that is a heartbreaking way for this one to always got a kit, but I don't think there's time. It's going to be so close.
He's got it.
Oh, just about. Gen G get the round, a 9th on the board. And Som's going to hold his own in the 1v1.
Oh, great information for his teammate, though, to tell him there's a kit dropped out on the site, right? You could see that was an almost a lost round off the back of the time, but Som picking it up at the last possible second. Gen G, they're making it happen. Man, even converting these rounds despite not getting the opening kills. Art's been doing such a good job of finding early frags. He's got 4 opening kills already in this map so far. Actually, Art is the top 3 rated player in Counter-Strike Go of finding opening kills. So that's an impressive stat. And this time, Vinny is going to steal it away, though. Furia do get players down towards B. No smoke wall. They just take it dry, and Art's pushed up so close as well. Automatic surely not ready for this position, but the spray is perfect, and he does get that kill back into a 4-on-4, but so much control lost. Gen.G, how do they adjust to Yard being given away?
Well, I mean, you can already see it. Immediate rotation here, right? Automatic having to abandon his position has now actually taken one up down towards this B side of the map. He's reinforcing that. Buntet's currently over on the ramp room and can swing in if needed. This leaves Gen.G split 2-2 between either bomb site and no outside control. That makes me a little bit nervous for Som and Daps over here at the A side of the map if an A split were to come on in. But luckily enough for them, Furia, they're looking like they want to go in towards B right now. Furia are just all across the map. They're still trying to really feel out where they want to end up. Automatics decided to go for an information play, and that kill has started to shift all these CT players around, but then suddenly they find the bomb, and they see it in main. It's grabbed, it's snatched by Vinny, and he runs it down towards B, trying to rejoin Yuri. This is such an awkward round. Vinny waiting patiently, and they line up for him. So now it's only Daps left standing. He might try and catch the bomb going back up. There's 10 seconds. This bomb's got to go somewhere. It either goes down or it goes up. But instead they get the kill. And Furia cementing that 5th. Oh, that was close.
That was ballsy to hang around in the vents for such low time. He heard Daps. He knew he was in that position. And instead of just going up the ladder, he decided to commit to taking the fight. That led him in a position where he couldn't plant. And still he gets away with a frag. Very, very important kill there from Vinny. And a huge round from him as well. That puts Furia back on the board, but most importantly, breaks the cash. A 9-6 half potentially here for Furia if they can just put the final nail in the coffin. Scout outside for Automatic does land a tag. Pistols and no Molotovs, but Furia aren't going quickly into that A site. They don't want to run the gauntlet up against what could be and is a potential stack. Daps caught out of position. Another opening kill for Vinny. Add it to the tally. Automatic trying to come into trade. He's done damage off this scout, tagging 2 players in this round. Won't matter for now, but that could have long-term effect.
Oh, slowly but surely, this bomb is heading towards ramp room. Buntet is honed in on this angle. He's been waiting all round for this peek. How's the crosshair placement, bud? Let's see if he's got this first shot lined up. They managed to get past. He sees only one man. He's only seen one. Now suddenly the penny's going to drop. The flash has gone in. And Buntet's got to start running for the hills. Automatic. Already got some scout damage off, but that one's not going to connect. Furia, they've got ramp room. Do they want to take B? They're grouping up. Looking like they've got their mind made up. Buntet has this crossfire with Kuster. Damage done on the Deeg. Buntet looking for a bit more. And there's a third for him. Still alive. And the bomb at his feet. Buntet could do it all. As both of these players are tagged down low for Furia. It's Yuri and Vinny left standing. 2 versus 4 and only pistols to beat. Gen.G trying to do the impossible. 15 seconds. They've got to go, and they've got to go now. The kills are in, and Gen.G take double digits, 10-5 at the end of the first half. Buntet saves it and gets them where they want to be. Join us after a quick break. We'll be back with the second half of Nuke.
Trailblazing cowboy, doing what I do best. I'm a chap wearing saddle, shining cow, branding fire, building lasso, throwing sharp, shooting cowboy. A whiskey drinking, grub eating, bean chewing, pistol loading, paddle herding, spur wearing cowboy. Just a rootin' tootin' trailblazing cowboy, driving my cattle out west. I'm a rootin' tootin' trailblazing cowboy. chap, wearing saddle, shining cow, branding fire, building lasso, throwing sharp, shooting cowboy. A whiskey drinking, grub eating, bean chewing, pistol loading, cattle herding, spur wearing cowboy. Just a rootin' tootin' trailblazing cowboy, driving my cattle out west. I'm a rootin' tootin' trailblazing cowboy, doing what I do best, doing what I do best. I'm a rootin' tootin' trailblazing cowboy, driving my cattle out west. I'm a rootin' tootin' trailblazing cowboy, doing what I do best. I'm a rootin' tootin' trailblazing cowboy, driving my cattle out west. I'm a rootin' tootin' trailblazing cowboy, doing what I do best.
Wow, we got some rootin' tootin', AK shooting cowboys in the server right now. Gen G sat 10-5 up at the end of that first half there. And FURIA now moving into the CT side of things to try and switch this up and turn it around. Keserato at ramp, gonna be that. Oh, he's already digged down low. Never mind, he might be out of this one. Henny tries to help out, but all the kills have come up in favor of Gen G, bar one right now. Heaven's getting wrapped, and they look to hit this A-bomb site.
Dash has heard come up the ladder as well. There's information here for Gen G. The one man on the A site's getting shot from two sides, and Son finds that kill. Now 4-on-2, and like said, Keserato dinked on the first fight of this round. He is going to be in a tough spot. Henny coming in through the yard, and Gen G, surely no way they can physically lose this round here. No reason to hunt down these players. Henny saving his armor. In Keserato, probably similar situation as well. Gen G, they find the pistol round to start things off, Harry. This is going to be an 11-5 lead with the potential of more. FURIA expected to force on the CT side, especially being down so many rounds, but that could only work in Gen G's favor. If they can find these anti-forces, that could lead them 13-5 up before you know it. And Tet's trying to clean up the couple of CTs saving armor.
Also, we've seen daps by dualies a lot now, and I'm starting to, at first I'm like, all right, maybe he's just having a good time, maybe he's trying to enjoy himself, but maybe he's trying to make this meta. I don't know, he keeps doing it at the minute. I've yet to see it pay off for him.
If you want utility that comes under $400, what pistol do you buy? I guess on the CT side, dually somewhat makes sense over a PT50. T side though, it's lost on me, Harry. I have no idea. We'll have to talk to him and figure out the mindset. Some people claim it works. Look at Nitro. I just don't think it does.
And again, some people, claim the Earth is a globe, and
yeah, look at
what
those.
do they know? Gen G getting players down through the vents. Well, not vents, stairs rather. Setting up towards outside. Buntet's going to be left to hold this secret push. Meanwhile, the rest of Automatic, Daps and Co. trying to take heaven control here for Gen G. FURIA, how have they responded to this loss of outside control? I'm seeing 3 bodies in this A-bomb site right now. It looks like they just boosted a man back up into heaven from the top of hut. And so this is at least going to offer a peek, a bit of insight into where one of these players lies. That's Automatic picking up Vinny there. Kills are going left and right though, and it's Automatic's position that should be the thing that locks this round in for Gen G.
Yeah, they're even keeping players down on B as well with the utility. They eventually get rid of Henny and decide why not just take the B site. Keserato is here though. He's come rotating with a rifle, and Kusta's found him jumping up above, and that's the one man who was armed for the job dead. Yuri alone may as well look for some kills here, make some money, but could argue a save as well. Doesn't really matter. This is a lost round. This is a 12-5 lead. And as we said, Harry, that 13-5 looking more realistic with every second that passes. Could this really be a stomp in the grand finals from Gen G? What a start that would be for this team in 2020. This is FURIA's map pick. This is one that they took compLexity to their knees moments ago. And Gen G are making it look easy. One more easy round before the job gets tough, though, and FURIA have brought 5 nades to the party. They're looking for, an explosion here towards ramp.
Look at all these nades, look at the artillery. I want to know where that's going in. I want to know what the game plan is here for FURIA. They're going to hold it for as long as they can. They're waiting to hear these footsteps. Look at this little crossfire. It is the most intense dodgeball Gen G will have ever played if they go towards ramp room right now. And luckily enough for them, they've decided, you know what? We are going to go to the polar opposite position. We get down outside, we got the smokes, we got the range. And so they're going to cross with that bomb in tow. They just might have navigated these rather treacherous waters very, very well.
I mean, these nades are still good, because if Gen G take outside and go down towards B, all these players can come from ramp and throw grenades towards that plant spot. So there's options here for FURIA. Gen G are on lower right now, so let's see if this actually has any impact, because Gen G have taken quite a lot of real estate on this B site. They pushed up towards the windows. FURIA holding on to 4 grenades now, waiting for the time to strike. That bomb yet to make its way down. Som's in the double doors right now with it. Molotov cuts FURIA out, but the smoke is favorable. They can throw nades through a smoke with no problem. That's a great kill from Art. Now the grenade's coming in. Som is on the site, but they're too late for it. Art trying to throw his, but he gets caught on the peak, and Som is just slaughtering these Brazilian players here. Nades are gone, and any hope out the window for FURIA. 13 rounds for Gen G. K-Serato just needs to make it so.
The thing that's so impressive about this, and Gen G still looking so hot here in the first map of this grand final, is you look at their path through this event and you know, the group that they started in. There's no doubt in my mind that they started in the harder group, right? They've got compLexity, MIBR, and ENCE in there. Then in the semi-finals, they go on to play versus North. You know, they really have had a hard time of it throughout this event thus far, and they've gone undefeated. That could be set to continue here and now, at least early on in this grand finals, with them picking this one up. This is kind of do or die time for FURIA. If this one slips through their fingers, Gen G just might run away with it, and they know it. The pressure is on now. 4-on-4, ramp room's taken, and Gen G, they could just sprint into this B bomb site right now and catch it with only Art here.
I love how committed they are, running through his smoke in the first rifle round just to get down lower. The issue is they've lost 2 men, and Som is going to have to trade. That smoke lets a player get out on top of the site here on B. Vinny is waiting in the wings. That molly cuts off his retreat. He has to hide inside of the smoke, but it will fade eventually, and shots are connecting. They've got to be hearing this. Som is waiting for the moment to strike. Once that smoke fades, Daps has done the damage. Som cleans up the kill, and he knows there's another man here in Decon as well. Just commits to the plant, but he will pay the final price for that, going down. No rush for that bomb really needed, but Daps is now alone. 1-on-2, more than doable.
Oh, Daps, so sad. It looked like he was ready for that. Eddie will remove him, so no 1v2 highlight for Daps, at least for that round there. FURIA are going to keep the dream alive as they pick up that 6th, and that's such an important one to pick up, right? If you lose that as FURIA, suddenly that 13-5 scoreline spirals to a 14-5. You've got to take a partial investment. You're giving over map point to your opposition in you know, 9 times out of 10, if that's the decision you have to make. And so if FURIA wanted to turn this around, if they wanted to have a chance still in this map, they needed that one. Now they've got to keep building upon it. We saw with MIBR yesterday, they were struggling to ever chain 2 consecutive rounds together, and that was their undoing. So that cannot be the case here for the other big boy Brazilian team in the grand final.
I've got flashbacks to Art whiffing last map in this position, but luckily enough, he doesn't have a Krieg, so the spray is going to be a little bit easier to control. He doesn't smoke himself off. The molly only just touches him. So this is really, really good. I don't know if Gen G will expect him in this position after they've double mollied it. Henny falling back. Vinny's been caught outside. Art's thrown a smoke, and that does give up his position. So Gen G, they want nothing to do with this. They're going to double back and go towards the lobby instead. They've got a pick to their name. They've spread FURIA thin, and now they're going back in towards A.
Oh, Buntet, though, is he ready? Is he ready for this little menace for Yuri hidden in this smoke? It dissipates. The Molotov hasn't made noise. Gen G get out through Squeaky. Oh, Art's got to get out of the vents, but Yuri is still a question mark, still an unknown entity. So much of this is going to fall onto his shoulders from the hot push, and he only gets 1 before Daps is in with the trade. Bomb plant will come in here. Gen G, 4-on-3, bomb planted up at A, FURIA. So often you would see teams maybe give this a look in and then have to make that gut-wrenching call to save. Is that what the Brazilians are going to have to do? Or are they going to attempt this one with the risk of giving over 14?
Doesn't seem to be the case. Art sneaking away. Looked in for a second, but it'd be nice to see K-Serato flash him through heaven, really. MP9 armor, it's kind of do or die, but I understand wanting everything to play with for what could be the last couple of rounds of this map, of your map pick as FURIA. Harry, you talk about Gen G having a hard time in terms of their group and their matches, but still coming out on top. I think the most exciting part of all of this is every single map that they've played here at DreamHack Open Anaheim, while they've won them all, they've all gone the distance. Every game has either been 16-13 or 16-14, 29 or 30 rounds. Well, this is the first game, at least for now, I don't want to jinx it, but they're winning dominantly, and it looks like it might just go their way in an extremely dominant fashion, unless FURIA can build together a huge comeback. Gen G just getting better every single matchup.
Yeah, it starts to feel like, you're playing up against like this self-learning AI when you're up against Daps, man. You'll face him the first time, you'll take him the full 30, you'll face him the second, you'll only get 29, but it's still all right. And then the time after that, 23-round game, you're done, you're sent home. But let's wait and see. FURIA are trying to turn this one around. The AWP's still in play. Henny was able to hold on to that. SMGs accompany the couple of rifles that they've been able to field here. It is not a good buy for FURIA. Instead, we're going to have to see some big heroics here from these few rifle players that we've got. That's what we're relying on if they want to keep this map going any longer.
It's crazy that FURIA have 11 opening kills in this map so far, and Gen G only have 9 to their name, yet this scoreline is so one-sided. Constantly coming back from these 4-on-5s. So FURIA know, even though they're getting these opening frags, it means nothing in the long run. The rounds are what matter, and, well, they are what is lacking as well. Henny is outside with the AWP. Not going to get flashed out for a peek, just looking to take a dry fight. Smokes are being set up for Gen G to cross towards Secret.
Oh, tag onto Daps. Not enough to deter Gen G from outside. He's actually even keen on taking the fight there, is Daps. Smokes are down. That's going to give them safe passage into Secret. Henny is none the wiser. The rest of Gen G, well, they're over here at ramp. They're looking to split into this B bomb site. Henny's read this well, though. If you look on the minimap, he's left that outside position. He was down towards Hell. He's joined up with K-Serato here at the ramp room. So they've got a bit of a crossfire set up. They've got this ability to trade off of one another. They actually go ahead and break that down now. Concede the ramp room. And for Gen G, this is exactly what they wanted. 15 seconds, though. Time is going to be the enemy of Gen G. Are they going to clear Art? He could win this round here and now. Oh, no. They haven't checked him. 8 seconds. The bomb is dropped. Surely there's no time. And Gen G, they might have made a bit of a mistake on this one. They've misjudged it as they get shut down. Automatic. He's even running the risk of going down after time. And he will. So FURIA, a 7th. Double AWP carried forward. And sending your opponent's economy down into the doldrums.
He at least makes it expensive, right? Couple of kills right before that round closes. But yeah, I mean, FURIA do such a good job of avoiding the battles, of avoiding the gunfights for so long. They let Gen G take that B control. They let them take ramp and both outside. And they wait till, Gen G have to get a bomb down in the last 20 seconds. That's when they start to pounce. Art coming up with a crucial kill, dropping that bomb on the site. And 14-7, the start for FURIA. Will Gen G put it to a bittersweet end, though? Like you said, double AWP. Art's here again with the AWP. Waiting for Gen G to make their move. They're coming.
Oh, misflick there from Art. Not fast enough. Outside control getting taken. There's no smokes for this. This is ballsy. They're running up against double AWP and they just sprint across outside. Luckily enough for them, no one from FURIA is here keeping an eye on this. At least no one with the scoped rifles. K-Serato's kind of like a little bit curious as to what's outside. It's a standoff. Oh, that. Not ready for Yuri to just be a couple of inches too short there, crouching down beneath the bullets. K-Serato, his turn to step up. Only good for one, though, as the trade comes in. Gen G still with this outside presence, and I think the real mystery man right now is Kusta. He comes in, he wrapped all the way through CT, so K-Serato never even saw him. with that kill coming in, FURIA are going to start to expect that there could be this heaven wrap, right? But Kusta has come in very, very fast and very, very quietly into this position. But I'm having flashbacks to last round. Time's running out once again, and it could be everything. Gen G, they get the kills, but it's a 1v2, and that bomb is dropped. Kusta's got to pick up the pace. He's got to try and get it planted. 10 seconds, taps in the numbers now. Running in through the hut, shot missed on the AWP. Kusta gets the first, and he's going to get all 4 at the end. Match point for Gen G, 15-7, and Kusta gets them there. Oh, what a clutch. You could feel that one building up.
He throws the god tier smoke as well. He bounces a smoke off the vent. It goes above him and 180s perfectly on the site. I'd love to know if that was purpose, because it doesn't get much better than that. That single-handedly saves him in the bomb plant, and FURIA must be crumbling after that clutch. 4 kills from Kusta, a 1-on-2 to find map point, and on FURIA's map pick no less. Nuke might just be coming to a close. FURIA, 3rd tactical timeout in this map so far. It's coming through. Gen G have not even felt pressured. And this, well, this is something to behold. Money gone. A scout on Henny, pistols, an M4, and Gen G armed to the teeth, looking to close it out.
Dabs doesn't even have a gun. He doesn't even have armor. He's dropped over to the rest of the team. This is an odd one from him, but he's looking to make a bit of a statement. Kill comes in from automatic. Man advantage taken. Gen G, 4 kills is all that separates them from taking this first map in the grand final and moving 1-0 up. FURIA, can they muster a defense here? Henny's got to sit back and watch as his 4 teammates from beyond the grave try and salvage this round.
Gen G are all over the place right now. They have all the control. Outside, again, this heaven wrap, the one in the last round, and FURIA have misread it. They put numbers down on that lower site. They are boosting to watch for that heaven position, but they're going to be late to the party. Gen G might be inside of A before FURIA's rotations have even realized. Art is trying to come in, but he's going to be too late. That's Gen G up and above the top site, and it's about to all come through.
Yeah, first kill, second kill. They needed 4, and they've got 3 of them. There it is. And this map comes to a close. Gen G, they're going to take it, and they'll take it dominantly at that. They put themselves in a great spot now in this grand final, and a chance to continue their undefeated streak as well here at DreamHack Open Anaheim.
Yeah, not just undefeated, but 29 and 30 round matches across this entire tournament for them. Well, that was their first dominant victory, and in the grand final, no less, against a FURIA that has been looking on fire so far this tournament. So you've got to give it out to Gen G. They have really shown up today. The question is, can they continue? Can they do it on Inferno as well? That's the next map coming up for them. It's one that Sean on the desk doesn't rep FURIA on, and one that we've already seen Gen G have success on this tournament as well. So everything is pointing in the way of the North Americans. Can they do it, Harry?
I mean, there's a stage is set, right, for Gen G to continue this upwards trajectory and to come to this event, their first land with this squad, and dominate in this fashion. You know, and I'm really hoping that they can. Buntet, I feel like we haven't even really had to even see him step up in the capacity that he was back in the Asian region, right? So I think that you've still got even more to give if you're Gen G, and I think heading into this second map, that's where things get interesting, right? FURIA, they've got to try and bounce back. Gen G, they're looking to take it undefeated. Can they, or will it be a FURIA redemption story? Join us after a quick break to find out.
This is my elevation, baby, I'm calling it your creation. Let's celebrate, this is a new line to my story. I'm in the spotlight and it's looking good now for me. Wouldn't it be good if we all went hey, hey, hey? You say hey, hey. Picture perfect. Good if we all went hey, hey, hey. You say hey, hey. Picture perfect. Good if we all went hey, hey, hey. You say hey, hey. Picture perfect. Good if we all went hey, hey, hey. You say hey, hey. Picture perfect. I'm in BPM 120, messing with the bass to get it blazing. city. That's where I rule. BPMs don't matter now. I'm cruising with my swagger. Get to show 'em. Got this secret feeling blue, and I tell you that I am dealing with the things I've lost. Time to have my own fun. I'm gonna be a bad one at any cost. Let's celebrate, this is a new line to my story. I'm in the spotlight and it's looking good now for me.
I'm a rootin', tootin', trailblazing cowboy, driving my cattle out west. I'm a rootin', tootin', trailblazing cowboy, doing what I do best. I'm a rootin',
The boys from Gen G are certainly rootin' tootin', trailblazing cowboys, whatever that song is, as they just went over top of FURIA in the first map, 16-7 on Nuke. Great first game coming in from the boys over on Gen G. What do you think, Potter?
I think it was amazing to watch. I think Gen G came out swinging. You can clearly see that they had an answer for every move that FURIA were making. From the vent boost shenanigans that we were talking about in that pregame, they were just getting consistently spammed from the get-go. Kusta with the answer down secret lower. Anytime FURIA tried to make plays towards that secret, sure, sometimes Gen G gave it up, but most of the time it was Kusta that was down there making a lot of pressure on FURIA, and it made it seem like FURIA was running out of answers, even though they seemed so strong on that nuke just yesterday.
Yeah, all the players from Gen G, you mentioned Kusta, the players in my mind, I'm thinking Sam, Bentet, Automatic, all had fantastic games. Dabs obviously called a great game. He went 1 for 7 in entry frags. It never even seemed like a problem. Like, not once did I think, oh, Gen G's losing entry frags, the game's not going their way. No, they were playing so well. They were trading off of each other when they needed to. And I thought Sam stepped up again in massive ways. I don't know where this came from, but this level he's showing this event, he's like top tier right now.
Potter, you have a replay for us. What is it?
Yes, this is going to take a look at FURIA Vinny's clutch. I just thought that this was spectacular. The eye test, it was impressive to watch. He's going to be going down vent side very quickly. Keep in mind, there's only about 15 seconds left on the clock. But Vinny, he's got the cojones to reopen the door. He understands that the CT defenders are going to try to stop the plant as soon as possible. And he utilizes that sort of pressure to his advantage. He knows it's a numbers game. He knows where the rotations are going to be coming from, and he selects those duels, calculates it, and it just looks so easy for Vinny.
Yeah, his game sense right there was perfect. So he had his teammate waiting in lower, which you couldn't see because X-ray was off. His teammate was waiting in lower, so he knew if he went to go plant the bomb, those guys following him through decon are going to flank immediately and kill him. So the only choice he has is to turn around and take that fight, but fake the door shut, which is what he did. So he just 200 IQ'd them. All 3 of those frags he outsmarted to get.
Unfortunately, as great as that play was, it was only a drop in the bucket, as we did see Gen G taking the series pretty easily over top of them as well. What are your expectations now as we move into Inferno? Not exactly a strong map for the boys on FURIA.
No, not a strong map for the boys on FURIA. I think Sam and Bentet in that B site really impressed me earlier in this event. I love how Daps calls on Inferno. I always thought he was probably one of the best Inferno callers in all of North America. Probably the best, actually. He has a solid default. He knows how to mid-game really well after he takes mid control. And he gets banana control whenever he wants it, which is important for any team that plays Inferno. So because of that, I'm now flopping. I'm flopping over to Gen G.
I'm just as excited as you are, but I don't want to jinx Gen G in any way, so I'm going to stick to my guns here. I am concerned slightly about Automatic. I mentioned yesterday on that Inferno, on day 1 on that Inferno, he was almost deemed irrelevant throughout the entirety of that CT side. He was not able to get involved towards those A hits whatsoever, and it just seemed like his timing was slightly off. Today, he seems to be hitting his shots. He seems to be in form. I don't expect him to look as lost as he did in that first match, but he definitely has to step it up to hold down that arch side.
That's actually a very good point. I didn't really think about the fact that Tim seemed a little lost last time that we saw them on Inferno, and it kind of made me question the whole Tim being the primary opera of Gen G. That has looked totally different over the last 2 days, so I don't expect to see that same thing. I've seen him play arch side before, dozens of times, and he never looked how he did on that first day. So I think that was more of an anomaly, and I think today we're going to see a different version of him.
So I got to ask, do you think we should redo the predictions again? Because now you're saying Gen G, and I said Gen G, and you guys gave me FURIA for whatever reason. So I kind of feel like we should bring it back.
Bring it back.
I think you're still sticking with FURIA. Is that correct?
I'm going to. I'm a superstitious person.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, I'm Asian. It comes with the genes, but I'm gonna stick with FURIA. But man, I'm rooting for both of these teams.
All right, well, I believe we are going to throw things to a break when we come up back. Map 2, Inferno. Does FURIA have it to force it to map 3, or will it be Gen G lifting the trophy? Stay tuned.
To be brilliant is to defy convention and challenge expectations. So Intel will bring the processing power for when it's time to go. Brilliant. Frame rates that keep up with your reflexes. Brilliant. Fast clock speeds for when you're on the clock. Brilliant. It's what we do at Intel, powering you to master your potential. Will you rise? Intel. Unleash your brilliance.
I'm gonna make a run to the hardware store. I need a new screen for my old screen door. Washers and screws and nails by the pound. You can't find it there, can't be found. If it ain't in store, they can order it. Square, peg, round hole, they'll make it fit. Whatever you need and a whole lot more, they got it all over at the hardware store. If you're working on your house or working on a shed, if you're building a garage or a flower bed, if the wheel on your riding mower's flat, if you need a new hose or a gardening hat, they got bags of mulching, fertilizer, pegboard, and workshop organizers. Any tool in the world to do it yourself, and there's a big old cat napping on the shelf. I'm gonna make a run to the hardware store. I need a new screen for my old screen door. Washers and screws and nails by the pound. You can't find it there, can't be found. If it ain't in store, they can order it. Square, peg, round hole, they'll make it fit. Whatever you need and a whole lot more, they got it all over at the hardware store. A pick, a shovel, a spade, a rake, American made, it'll never break. They got 10 wash tubs and radio flyers, Christmas lights and turkey fryers, chain and rope cut to any length, chicken wire any height. I'm a rootin', kickin', trailblazing cow. Gonna run, make a run to the hardware store. I need a new screen for my old screen door. Washers and screws and nails by the pound. You can't find it there. You can't find what I do best. If it ain't in store, they can order it square, peg, round hole. They'll make it fit. Whatever you need and a whole lot more. They got it all over at the hardware store. What I do best. There's a little brass bell hanging on a string. When you walk in, they can hear it ring. Any project, trailblazing cowboy, driving my cattle out west. I'm a rootin', kickin', trailblazing cowboy, doing what I do best.
Wow, Gen G, they laid down the law. And now, looking to go flawless here. If they can take this in a 2-0 fashion, they will have done exactly that. In the grand final, they sit 1-0 up. Gen G, they have been on one hell of a journey here in Anaheim, right? They have looked so good. They are yet to drop a map, and that's now continuing. FURIA finding themselves on the back foot, 0-1 down after losing Nuke. They've got to try and bounce back.
Yeah, they've got a lot to do, right? Already, you know, being the only team representing Brazil here, MIBR falling in that group stage, and now, I mean, FURIA, they really want to make a name for themselves, but this would be, you know, one for the ages if they could pull it back. Not only Gen G's map pick and back, they've proved versatile in this tournament, online, and just wherever they go. Well, now FURIA, a team that have struggled with Inferno in the past, are going to have to put that all to the wayside and show us what they got. They will have that CT side start, considering it's Gen G's map pick, so little benefits in that sense, but let's find out what this game's got in store for us if Gen G can make it dominant like the last.
Yeah, to quote a Mr. OJ Borg, let's get it on. FURIA going down through mid. Vinny in tow, Yuri alongside him, and they're trying to up the pace in this round. Now hiding down in the tunnels. Oh dear, it's a bit of a slaughter hole. Never mind a water hole. They're all coming down towards the bottom of mid. Kusta and Daps suddenly left in a 2-on-3. This has been such a messy pistol round. Now looking to group up, looking to get this bomb to safety over in the apartments. Looking like they want to try and go for an A split, but Henny's already fallen back into the pit, and he's got Vinny over at long to come in to help out. This crossfire is here ahead of time, and there's a huge gap in that smoke. There's not even a gap in the smoke. That is just a missed smoke. And Daps now alone. 4 points of health in a dream. He's got the bomb planted at the very least, but surely that's it. They've spotted him now. They know that he's here. Oh dear, Daps is trying to stay alive, but it's not going to happen. FURIA, they'll get themselves the pistol here.
Yeah, at least starting things off on the right foot, right with Keserato, 3 kills already. And the favored side. Bomb plant, though, the question is, do Gen G force straight into the second round, right? You can get a hero AK, you can maybe get a Krieg on someone who found a kill. Throw that one over to an armored player. There are options here, but FURIA already setting a bit of a decimating pace by pushing middle in the pistol round. They clearly want to get back into the swing of things. There's the buy for Gen G. 2 Kriegs, a Galil, and a Scout and Bentet. This is a pretty decent investment. Daps taking a hit for his team on just a P250. Deep mollies down mid. Gen G do go wide past them, though. We've got a man running up. That's automatic. And in the meantime, Art is running down. Banana. Control there for FURIA with 3 players. If Gen G can get ahead of this rotation, they can take the A site before a third man's here.
Oh, the aggression down through Banana from Henny and Vinny, though. This could lead to a great timing here for an extra player to rotate around towards this A bomb site. They've set both these Banana players up so deep. They've got all this information, and maybe once that smoke dissipates, that's when we see players start to move around. Already inside of the A-bomb site, though, kills are coming in from Yuri. Buntet does at least get that trade. Keserato now inside of this site, and they are not ready for him. It's down to a 2-on-2 with bomb under FURIA control. But there's a man lost in CT in the form of Kusta, and now arriving at shore is Dom. Keserato, last man standing, albeit briefly. Gen G are going to turn that round on its head, and they'll pick it up.
3 kills off the back of Som with the Krieg as well. He's the top-rated player of this entire tournament, and that is, a fantastic start for him into the second round of this game already. Third and fourth top are Yuri and Keserato. Fifth coming in for Automatic. So only 2 players of Gen G in those top 5s, but they are making it work. And now the force back for FURIA. They're going to be the ones trying to get it done with less. A scout on Keserato and pistols elsewhere. Som's already opened up down the top of Banana, taking Vinny down. That will force a rotation. Art's got to be running right back through the spawn. But one thing that we did see from Gen G when they played compLexity on this map a couple of days ago was how quick they were at, following Dap's calls, rotating immediately off the back of information. If Daps makes a call that they want to get out of Banana and hit A, even though they have 4 players here, they'll do it like that. They will wait for no one. And so Gen G, well, they're walking into a stack right now, but they don't know it.
Yeah, the thing that is a little bit optimistic is that there's still this smoke right over in the back of FURIA. They might be looking to try and play this delay play, but now the smokes have actually gone out. And oh no. Dear, they sent the bomb in first, and that now is in the enemy front line. They're trying to retrieve it, and they are getting kills. Art's only good for 1, and Henny's put down as well. So Gen G, they've recovered. Som with 2, Automatic on 3. And they'll just about secure that conversion for Gen G.
It looks like they sent in Daps, and then he gets killed, and he realizes they've got a stack there and tries to make the call that we should get out of here, but without realizing that the bomb was actually on his back and lost in no man's land. By that point, you've got to double down, you've got to commit, and Gen G did exactly that very well. Could have gotten out of hand, but luckily the eco is made quick work of.
Yeah, it's actually very, very good that they have that realization, like, okay, we got to go back in, we got to go, because as we were just saying, there's still a flash, there's still a smoke on FURIA. If you disengage, if you give them a couple of seconds to get that utility in, gather up a few of those guns, they can make something of that round. So Gen G have navigated these waters well. Art's set up over in the apartment. Zeus is out. Daps has made noise, and there it is.
Hello.
Oh, hang on a minute. No, it's not coming out. Woo, not quite, not quite. Oh, close though. That's pretty much the only exciting thing that should happen in this round, so we can just kind of tune out for the remainder of it. Just these pistols over at B. And Gen G are at A.
A recipe for success, at least for them. FURIA stacked up on that B side. They got the boost as well. Vinny's even on top of new boxes. But not interesting for now. Gen G have already worked out the fact that A's clear. Just checking all the cubby corners, being careful. He was killed by Keserato at the back of the site just a couple of rounds ago. Had the bomb in his hands, caught off guard. Not this time. Gen G clearing every cubby and now sending players out on the hunt, making sure that no one can get behind or through one of these gaps and try and get a defuse going. Goose are going to hang around just in case, but Daps on an SMG, nothing to lose, everything to gain, especially money. Oh, it's messy, but he gets it done. Vinny's dead, and now a couple more at the back of the site for Gen G to try and find.
Yeah, it's just stat padding, and Som loves padding those stats. He gets it up. And 169 ADR, by the way. 244 ADR, so we're actually selling him short. He's had a hell of a debut here with this squad, has Som, and I think that is really one of the most exciting things about this Gen G squad is these young players kind of starting to have the fire lit beneath them. You've got a capable leader in Daps, you've got some imports, some experienced players brought into the mix, the variety of different styles of Counter-Strike, and then you've also got these young, malleable, moldable players like Som, who clearly is a star in the making, right? I get like vintage, early day Kirby vibes from him. A young gun putting up these incredible numbers for his squad.
Yeah, I think a lot of people expected Bentet to be the big name of this team, and rightly so, considering how much he did domestically in Asia. Wow, those are some great nades. Look at the amount of damage that FURIA have gotten away with. That's something that Launders calls unconfirmed damage. Because FURIA, they don't know how much damage they've done. They don't know that 2 players are on sub 10 HP and Bentet's down to 50. That creates problems for Gen G, without a doubt. Buntet regaining that banana control, at the very least knowing that Furia are unlikely to have more utility in store for him. Gen.G seeming like they want to end on this site as well. They've managed to push Furia all the way back towards the safety of the library, but that means Arc can just rotate towards B on a whim. Won't be needed for now, but they might realize that later on. Bomb B with 2, 3 on A. This is a commitment for Gen.G as they try and get players through the apartment and fake out the fact that this is an A play. That only makes Arc commit further inside of the site, but this BXX is going to be coming in late with 20 seconds.
Yeah, it's nice. They've thrown the 2 low HP, 1 bullet away from players dying over here at the A-bomb site just to sell this fake, and they're doing a great job. And at some point, the penny's got to drop. 10 seconds, now the utility goes in, and Furia go, all right, yeah, they're faking it. Like we expected, the bomb dropped. And he dealt with, but there's only 1 man left over here at B. Got to try and get this bomb planted all alone, does Buntet. And so low on HP, he gets shut down. Furia, they're able to put a second up on the board as these rifles come on out.
I love the idea there for Gen.G. Unfortunately, Furia do such a good job of dodging the engagements and hiding, and with Gen.G not getting any fights, Furia had no need to rotate. They still had 3 players on A. That long player came inside of the site as well, and so they can just commit to the double B setup. And with Gen.G not being able to get that first immediate trade on B, well, that's the round lost. So a nice try considering, you know, what they were working with in terms of health, but it's not going to work out. That's a great pick from Tim up towards the top of Banana. Vinny dead on B. Look at the rotate as well. Furia know that Gen.G love this B bomb site so much, and they're going back towards it with numbers. 3 CTs here to try and contain.
Yeah, this is looking like a very good read from Furia. Henny left fighting.
Whoa.
Oh dear.
Some of your own medicine.
Yeah. Have those 2 grenades back from the last round. And you could see Henny was really gunning for that fight, kind of comfortable in the knowledge that if he gets that engagement, you know, likely gonna have some success in the opening duel. And then if he goes down, maybe Gen.G just rush that B site. Instead, from his deep push, he sees nothing. So now they start to rotate back to A, and this is where Yuri is locking things down. Art's now arrived as well, but he's just offering himself up on the chopping block. Yuri hidden down in the pit. This Famist has been deadly, but it's laid to rest. And 1 by 1, Furia, they have been shut out of this A-bomb site in spite of Yuri's best efforts.
Yeah, 1 man left to do it all. He's got a kit. And coming in through the apps as well means he might be able to catch an element of surprise. Not going to commit to it though, just double backing through second mid, saving his weapon for a rainy day. There's a bit of money here still for Furia to buy around this gun, but that's going to be a confirmed round for Gen.G. 4 on the board on this T side. Furia, the pressure's got to be on. They know Gen.G love this map. They're already down 1 in this series. This is the grand final as well. And Furia so much to prove. I mean, you know, this team first entered the top 20 exactly a year ago, back in February 2019. They managed to stay in the top 20 for the entire year up until this point, only now dropping into 21st place in the world. First time in a year, despite all the ups, despite all the downs, and they finally want to get into that position, but winning this event would be the perfect way to do that. However, it might be slipping through their fingers. Automatic getting a lot of value off of the T-side AWP as well. Easier said than done at times. Furia, they won't have the money to reinvest here and fight back against that. Just Henny on the save gun and some pistols around it.
Once again, there's this early 3-man setup over towards the B bomb site. Gen.G have been very, very keen on trying to go for this top banana control. And this round they get it, and they'll take that all day long. Art's been able to navigate that smoke somehow to retrieve the M4 from his teammate's body. That was kind of the real talking point there, was if that rifle just gets thrown away, just gets lost from the arsenal of Furia, they're going to make the executive decision to group everyone up at this B bomb site, albeit momentarily. They haven't seen nor heard anything for a while now, so they now change their mind on that one.
They're just getting conditioned so early on into being scared for this B site, and that only plays in the hand of Gen.G going forward into this half. They know they have Furia scared. This rotate back, though, is perfectly timed. Yuri's gone for a full rotate back towards the A site, but it might be a little bit too late to the party. Queserato, the one rifle, the one weapon, the one hope. What can he do?
I mean, they know where he is, and that's enough to get rid of him. Still alive, still in the sight, but time's running out. That's a nice shot. Still, players coming his way, and they cut him down. The lack of armor sending his aim flying. Try as he might, not able to win that fight. Gen G, 5-2, as they continue to build upon this lead. Their second round in a row now, and a chance once again to reset Furia's economy back into, send Furia's economy down into the doldrums. They could really just start to run away with this, and that's one of these scary situations you can end up in, especially if you're over on the CT side as Furia, where you are just buying and then having to, partially invest in a round after if you lose that, and then you buy and you just rinse, repeat that. You never really have everything that you need. And that's why, this AWP on K-Serato that's been bought out in this round is, I'm pretty sure, the first that we've seen over on the Furia side thus far. Almost 8 rounds into this first half.
Ooh, burning. Tippy toes getting scorched. He's going to move back into short, though. Art's been smoked in middle, and he's got to be very careful. Luckily for him, no one here. And this is what has been conditioning Furia. These rounds, Gen G looking like they're just going to flat out execute in towards B. There are Molotovs, though, or one rather. Vinny with the smoke as well. One's just landed. That's going to delay things for 15 or so seconds. Double nade in CT. Vinny just moved out of that position. Perfectly timed. That should force a rotate, seeing those 2 grenades, because Furia know that Gen G have a minimum of 2 players at the top of Banana, and nothing has been shown on A. This kill decided it all, in K-Serato taking down Kusta. That actually goes the wrong way for Furia. Sends Art back towards A, but it is still going to be this B execute. Can these 2 players hold the line?
Well, the resmoke's coming over at top Banana. That means Gen G, they've got to decide now. Do they want to flash through? Do they want to go? Or are they going to run away? The nade drops the bomb, and now they're committed. They're going in. They've got to get past Vinny. And there's the flick back from Automatic to shut him down. 20 seconds on this clock. And now starting to plug in these numbers. That's going to get the bomb planted, but it all falls onto the shoulders of Automatic here. AWP in hands. Over at the B bomb site. We've all got our memories. And Automatic going to strike the first one down. Player beneath him and not quite able to land the flick. Furia, they'll make that 3v1 happen, only losing 1 man in the process. And they're going to get a 3rd round on the board. Looking to get back into this now.
Yeah, double site setup completely caught Gen G off guard that time. Furia have been running a lot of CT coffin plays and giving up the site. Well, now they had 2 players on the orange side in New Box, and after 1 kill's found, 1 trade rather from Gen G, they don't expect the second man so close. Add in the fact that Art gets a grenade kill as well, coming off of that rotate through the spawn. Gen G could have assumed the site was clear. Gets messy, and it's broken the economy once again, this time for the T's. Back to pistols. Bentet holding onto the bottom of Banana, but the AWP is here and it's got a free reign. There's 2 of them now for Furia. K-Serato on long side getting pushed, and that's a bomb being dropped. That's dead as well, and the bomb just getting transported closer and closer to the CT side. K-Serato is adding names to the scoreboard, and he might just get a little bit more. 2 players around this corner. Oh, the flash is good though. The trades are in, and Furia make quick work of that eco round regardless.
Yeah, they call him judge, jury, and executioner. That K-Serato's closed over at the long side. Furia, they're going to get that 4th over on the board now. Starting to get this one closer and closer. Gen G throwing this investment in, and they've got pretty much everything they need. Kusta's a little bit limited, and that allows him to get some utility for the squad here. You don't really have enough utility if you're Gen G to throw these fakes in that they've been liking to do. They might just have to commit, and getting that kill early, well, that's going to help out massively. Bentet finding the early opener for Gen G. Now sees them sat 5 on 4, and this has kind of shifted that pressure around. It was on Gen G to make a play early on. They've done their side of the bargain now, and so now it falls to Furia's end to try and make a play, to try and snatch back this advantage.
Oh, these grenades, oh dear. They're so good. Som's down to 4. Heavy setup on B. Gen G not ready for Art on the corner. Bentet gets caught. The flash back in for Furia, and they're just keeping the pressure up. Gen G, they might want to ditch this B site after all. Som so low, playing with fire, fighting through this smoke. At this point, Gen G have elevated the pace. They've realized this site is somewhat empty. Yuri being caught on rotation. Daps just running through smokes to take map control here. K-Serato is alone inside of the A site, and he's got a lot to do.
Yeah, since finding this AWP in his hands, he's looked good, but he's got to look better than ever now, and he gets bested immediately by Som. Kusta arriving as well. And Art is throwing into an otherwise impossible clutch. Does do damage. 3 of these players are so low on HP, but there is no way that Art can know this. He's just got to back away. Gen.G are going to keep this lead building up in their favor. 6-4. One man staying alive. An investment back in for FURIA in the next round. This one is feeling more back and forth than Nuke, that's for sure.
Nice read from Gen.G, though, at least in anticipating the fact that there were 3 players in B in that round. FURIA not only having the double nade, but also having a player fighting sandbags while a flash was thrown in from Coffin. So Gen.G, they realize that, they spot the fact that there's 3, and they elevate the pace towards long. Daps not only getting that kill onto Yuri on rotation, but just taking the map control away from FURIA and leaving KSCERATO in a position where he's getting split from so many sides on A. Som, of course, finding that crucial kill and keeping himself at the top of the scoreboard in this server. Keeping Gen.G in the lead, gunning for first place, gunning for not only $50,000, but a spot at DreamHack Masters Jönköping as well. That's a huge deal for a roster like Gen.G that would have a real difficult time of grinding those qualifiers. They are not easy online, but this would just mean a guaranteed invite to that huge tournament. And Gen.G a chance to do what they're doing right now against some of the best teams in the world.
And on the flip side of that, right, you look to FURIA. What would this mean to them, that spot in Jönköping? And, well, I mean, they were at both Masters event last year, right? They've had now to try and earn a spot, and that's because, they have kind of been on this bit of a downward trajectory. They're trying to bounce themselves back up, and this could be that first step in the right direction. Before we even start to think about that, though, they've got to pick up this map. They've got to take us to a third. They've got to take us the distance, and they are on the back foot here.
Yeah, I mean, that would be bittersweet, right? But if top 4 back at Dallas for FURIA, they had a huge performance, so maybe not even making Masters this time. But they're not out the woods yet. It's not done. It's not decided. The invites have not been sent out. That name still blank. Automatic, careful on the corner. KSCERATO's got an AWP, but that molly will keep him at bay for the time being. Gen.G moving into middle. FURIA have had no problem with playing passive over on this A site, giving up a lot of room. Gen.G, they'll take that room. They'll move right up. 4 players out through middle. We've got Daps in the apartments as well, spotting for anything here. Art and Yuri, double pit side play. And KSCERATO in the corner, waiting for that smoke to fade.
Flashes go in. This is KSCERATO's chance. First shot lands. Is he going to go back in for more? His teammates in pit set him up with a flashbang, and it's good. Missed shot, though, on the no-scope. And now Art trying to hold down the A-bomb site, but he's only good for 1. Leaves us in a 2-on-2. Automatic, I love this. He's keen on taking this fight and locking down the banana side. Now he's just missed the timing here. Creeping on up through mid while this long... Oh no! Automatic, the timing's just not there. Both times it eludes him. And now Buntet down in the pit. This should have been a Gen.G round. He's got to try and make it so. First kill coming on in. Is he ready for Henny in the same spot? Some noise has been made. Henny, ooh, time's running out now. And Buntet, so good at not giving up this fight. So patient down in the pit. And he doesn't budge. He doesn't give up. It's another round for Gen.G.
What a god, man. It's so nice to see Asian exports to the US have success. It was a talking point on the desk. We didn't see much from Machine Gun when he came over to NA all those years ago, but Buntet, the first man since, and he is really making a name for himself here as well as he has back in, his previous teams in Tyloo. 7-4 right now for Gen.G. Automatic as well. He gets timed. He hears Henny or Vinny running up mid, and that's why he decides to look away from long. He hears those footsteps. He tries to force the fight, and as he does that, long player comes in to kill him. Luckily enough, Buntet's there to save the day, and once again, A is empty of Brazilian players. Gen.G doubling down with the pace and taking this A site and the round in and of itself. There's going to be almost nothing FURIA can do here with the USPs. They've been cordoned out by the smokes, rushing back in through middle. They might try and surprise Gen.G in through the apartments, but Kusta is mulling about, waiting for this fight.
Oh! Well, he gets one and almost a second, and to his credit. But this is still an 8th round for Gen.G, right? FURIA aren't going to give this one a look at. They don't really have anything. And it was nice that, we've been giving Gen.G a lot of credit for the speed and how kind of receptive they are to the decisions that Daps comes to. Well, that round there, he's over towards top mid, and I think it's Kusta checking Banana, sees that just a handful of nades go raining in onto him and Buntet, and they immediately know that it's a stack. So Daps just charges into that A-bomb site, gets it locked down. Once he's actually in the site, you're not that worried about losing the round if you're Gen.G. So they'll keep it nice and clean. Krieg is held forward, though, by Vinny over on the side of FURIA. So let's see if he can get some usage out of this as a pause is called on in.
I mean, one of the biggest benefits of saving that gun here is not just the fact that the Krieg is incredible on the CT side, but that facilitates utility. And it's something that FURIA, while they wouldn't have had an abundance of. A few grenades here, but by and large, 4.5k per player. That will limit you on going for the full molly, smoke, nade, flash combo. Luckily, it won't stop Vinny.
And especially, you think about how good that utility usage has been at Banana. We've highlighted it time and time again. In so many of these rounds, we've had, Gen.G players sub 10 HP in the opening 20 seconds on the back of that HE stack down Banana.
I'd love to see FURIA take matters into their own hands a little bit more. They are getting executed on really well by Gen.G. Even the pistol round here was where FURIA just pushed down mid and established dominance and took that in their favor. They've been so good at getting aggressive on CT side Inferno in the past. I'd love a mid push in this round, and I think we might just get it as well. Molotov down and someone running deep down. He's been smoked off, and he's got to be careful. Art's waiting. They run right through. The bomb's dropped, and Art gets 2. Henny with the support as well. Gen.G, they are getting splattered in the middle. Can they do anything about it?
Oh, Kusta's just snuck by a man in apartments. Now, Yuri's a little bit suspicious as to what might lurk in this smoke. They just bypassed one another. Kusta creeping forward, looking to provide for Gen.G. 2 players, 3 players over here at this A-bomb site now with the arrival of K-Serato into Library. And with this graveyard pit setup, the apartments is not where you want to find yourself. You're going to be at the mercy of both of these angles as you try and get on in. That's the bomb dropped over at long, and now for Kusta. I mean, we've seen clutches from him in this series thus far, but this is a clutch that's a little too much to ask. They don't find anything. FURIA, with that change of pace, the mid push, the confidence may be surging back through them again. They're going to get a 5th round.
Yeah, FURIA at least finding something here. If they could get the last couple of rounds of the half, that would be splendid. But Gen.G surely going to expect more aggression of the likes. You can't run that kind of setup every single round. So do they just fall back into these passive plays that Gen.G have been waiting for? Molotov in middle, K-Serato peeking around it with the AWP. Oh, grenades again. Oh, so much damage. Been put down to 30 by the double nade. He just can't catch a break when it comes to this utility. Automatic, even getting chipped away at as well.
The thing that's so impressive about those nades is it's not even like they're just set nading down onto the logs, right? That one there, they actually play it very kind of situationally. Buntet's holding the bottom of Banana. He thinks he's playing it safe, but he still gets naded down to 30 HP. At FURIA, they did only have 2 players over here towards the B-bomb site for a little while. They actually had a man pushed all the way down Banana, and so then they grouped 3 up over here, and now have changed their mind. They haven't seen or heard anything at B in a very long while, and they did, as I said, have deep Banana control at one point in time. So they've made the decision to rotate players away. Is this a decision they're going to come to regret, though?
Especially with Gen.G throwing fake utility over A, that only delays his rotation from FURIA. Henny's not even started to consider it yet, but once those smokes come through, the penny is going to drop. And the smiles as well. FURIA, they are relying on one man and one man alone. That is Vinny. What can he do on his own here at the back of the site? The spray not connecting. Daps with an immediate entry kill, and Gen.G are all over this bomb site. With that, it might just be a save. FURIA, if they don't get smoke kills here and now, they might have to hold on to these guns for the last round of the half.
And it's a gut-wrenching call to have to make. Oh, and you've really put stock in these 4 players surviving. If you are FURIA right now, you can afford to lose one of these players at a maximum. You do not want to lose any more than that. And so Gen G, heading into this last round of the half, sure they don't have much money. I hope they send a couple of players hunting. I hope they go looking to break this FURIA economy. It's another sad round where, once again, there's so much damage done to Gen G, and maybe if FURIA know that, maybe they attempt it, but you don't have that information. They just have to play it safe.
It's honestly like Daps has wall hacks, man, because these reads from Gen G have been so good at conditioning FURIA. Early in the map, we had heavy B placed on Gen G. FURIA start running triple, sometimes even quad B setups, and Gen G avoid it by going A. The first round, FURIA gamble on a quad A stack in the entire half. Gen G go for a full B execute with no banana control at the start of the round. Completely outplaying FURIA in their heads, rent-free. And let's see what the charges will be for this last round of the half. Another mid push. It might just be the solution. Art, he found 2 kills off of doing this last time. Can he do it again?
Yeah, this is Art's round. He's gotten down through mid. He finds that first kill, and now they're looking to deal with him. They're thinking, surely not again. And he'll actually leave up past the cart, back towards this B-bomb site. Art just bails out of middle, and I kind of love this from FURIA. They show a presence in mid. They show a man in the front line of Gen G.
Look how indecisive they are, though.
Yeah, that's a little bit worrisome.
FURIA can't even decide which site they want to play, and they're going to still gamble with a solo B. I think this is a huge risk to be pulling into, the last round of the half when you have a 5-on-3, you have the advantage, you can afford to play 2 on B, and luckily enough, they do rotate Art back. That would have been a big mistake if Gen G just walked up banana, executed in the 3-on-5, win the site without a death, and then potentially even close the round and the half off the back of that. Luckily, it's not going to be a problem. FURIA have the numbers to defend. It's all about actually getting the defense in order.
Yeah, the thing that's so scary here, if you're Gen G, imagine being in their shoes. The last you saw, Art was somewhere, anywhere in middle, and you had no idea where he's gone. So you've got to check every one of these angles. This has wasted a lot of time. This has burnt that clock down. Henny given a chance there, and a huge chance at that, but he's missed it. And now, Art's fallen at the back of the bomb site. Gen G, 15 seconds. They're going to get this bomb planted. A 3-on-4. They might be a man down, but stranger things have happened. Henny waiting for his teammates to move into position. Keserato, last man to join on in, gets into the ruins here. Double AWP in the retake. Not ideal. No banana presence either. And with CT smoked, all 4 of these players have got to come through ruins or go running through that smoke. They try and boost over the top, and they will at least trade, but time is the problem. Time is their enemy here. You've got to go faster, FURIA. And Daps shutting down 1 and a second as well. And now he's just waiting. They tap the bomb. It baits the peak. The kill is found, but there's no time left. Gen G, 10-5 on the half once again. It's flashbacks to nuke as the scoreline reads the same. Will the outcome be the same? And will Gen G take this 2-0? Or is this where FURIA resurge in the second half? Join us after a quick break. This grand final could be about to conclude.
Chatting
throwing, sharp-shooting cowboy. A whiskey-drinking, grub-eating, bill chewing, pistol-loading, cattle-herding, spur-wearing cowboy. Just a rootin', kicking, trail-blazing cowboy. Driving my cattle out west. I'm a rootin', kicking, trail-blazing cowboy. Doing what I do best. Rootin', kicking, trail-blazing cowboy. Driving my cattle out west. I'm a rootin', kicking, trail-blazing cowboy. Doing what I do best. I'm a rootin', kicking,
Oh, it's getting hot in here. Furia 5-10 as they sit 0-1 down in this grand final. The Brazilians have got to pick it up if they want to stand any chance at contending for this title with Gen G, who have shown to be monsters thus far. Pistol round underway, and Kusta and Automatic both heading over towards the apartments. Now, Automatic's going to keep dueling mid. And actually now backing on off, it's a triple stack over here at this B side of the map. Gen G showing a very heavy top mid presence and taking these fights. I wonder if they're trying to push Furia into this three-man stack over at the B bomb site.
Well, it's worked wonders for now. The shots need to connect though as well. Bentet thinks already the back. He has gone down, but there's a second man in that position. Som is waiting for them to cross. Do they check it? Vinny does, but Som's going to get the headshot. Going back in for more, missing some bullets, and Henny eventually diving him down. The B site stack does crumble under the push from Furia, but the retake can come in. I mean, Bomb's not even down yet. Gen G just hunting for these kills, and it's going to come back to haunt them. Daps alone, getting chased, and Yuri will finish off that round. Furia, they may be running into the triple B stack, but they have the firepower to contend. A couple of missed USP shots, and those pistols do just, well, I mean, go how they go sometimes. 6-10, the start of the comeback. Exactly what Furia needed to keep this map going, and Gen G are going to force the issue.
Oh, Som tries his hand at the banana peak. Now, it's always a little bit risky. We know how good Furia have been over here with their utility, so he actually now falls on back. Furia just spreading out. They've seen and they've heard these pistols, so they should anticipate this this force buy from Gen G. Automatic once again deep up in the apartments, and he's looking for anything. Just wants to catch a player crossing, and ooh, great shot from Yuri. Automatic going to be kicking himself after that one. And advantage now taken for Furia, and the response is in from Gen G. They stack the 4 remaining players over towards this B bomb site. Furia, they might be about to walk in, and there's nobody home over here at A.
Well, Daps is returning, but he's got a smoke down on long to move through. Going to just go right aggressively through it. Luckily, a huge gap for him to exploit, but Furia have already pushed their players up short, and that's been made clear here for Gen G. The rest of these B players might just save guns. As Daps is here, he might as well put a go into it. Try and get a gun, try and get a kill. He spotted Vinny's arms. And, oh, that's so unfortunate. Vinny swinging off and does get that kill, and the rest of Gen G just saving. No real reason to go hunting. You can't win this round. You can at best get a couple of guns, but you may as well just save, as you know an eco is coming up in the next. Still Smoke's held on as well, so they can continue to delay Furia in the upcoming round, assuming they're on the correct bomb site. Not the case here.
I mean, this is already the one like notable difference from Nuke, right? We kind of saw for Furia there. After the 10-5 half, we get that 13 rounds floating on the board for Gen G, and suddenly, you know, you've got so little room to maneuver that comeback. All it takes is one little mistake or one big play from anyone on this Gen G squad, and that match slips through your fingers, as we saw, right? But here on Inferno, they've actually started to bring the heat nice and early in this second half. Not only getting the pistol, but now finding the conversion as well. This is actually perfect for Furia. These are the exact conditions they needed if they wanted to stand a chance, and they just might. Quesarato arriving over at Banana, has the rest of his team in tow. They're just going to slow it right down. They know that a lot of these pistols were saved, that there's still utility here for Gen G. They don't want to risk more than they have to in this round. They want to try and keep as many players alive as possible. That's going to start to probe B, and actually, that bomb's going over towards Banana. There's a few more players building up at this side of the map.
Bentet even has a smoke on A, and I think he's about to smoke off mid as well. That could only further push FURIA into B, but they've committed regardless. Into the stack they go. Oh dear, Som's found 2 off the Deagle. That might send these players packing the bomb. Not committed, but Bentet is still here, hiding in the A site. FURIA trying to get ahead of things, trying to get into the site before the rotations are in. Bentet, if he can get this kill, that would be everything, and he's found a gun as well. That's a big problem. Smoke at his feet as well only obscures the vision of FURIA. They will find the player rotating through the library, but Bentet is buying time by just being here. The kill's in for Yuri. He doubles it. Low HP for both of these players on FURIA, but they can get a bomb plant.
Yeah, Kusta and Daps, they've got to try and finish the job that Bentet and Som started. They waste no time. They go through the smoke. The first kill is in, and the second shortly found. Kusta and Daps fighting side by side, brothers in arms, and an 11th round for Gen G. This stack oh my goodness. Som is just looking, oh my word, better than ever. This is it. You do not want to be anywhere else apart from watching this game unfold before your very eyes. FURIA back in with another buy. Gen G, they've got a buy. These are the rounds we've been waiting for. AWP in the hand of Automatic. And a fast mid play from FURIA as they take this top mid control, flashing Automatic off. It's Kusta waiting in the hidey hole that could do a lot. Daps is on the other side of this smoke, and now Kusta swings on out, takes one to the grave with him. But his victory's short-lived. Automatic still back inside of the bomb site. Has a teammate swung on in to join him. That's Som. This has left that B bomb site high, dry, and unprotected, though.
Yeah, Bentet rotated off. He's reconsidering. He's hanging around in CT to at least watch for a smoke to come through. But with FURIA going quiet on A, that should definitely send the alarm bells pounding for Gen G. The rotations are coming in, but it's all a ruse. FURIA just slowing it down to look to still commit towards A, and Gen G have gambled on the wrong side of the map. Now they could boost up and send Som back towards A. That could be what's going on right now, or Bentet rather on the rotation. But right now, with everything going quiet, it points towards B from Gen G. FURIA could be just walking up Banana right now, and they might in fact after all. So while for a second that looked like a missed stack, it's going to come back to work in Gen G's favor. FURIA 2 smokes. It's a B execute. Perfect for them. But that boost is still going to be an important position here for Som.
Oh, this nade could do a hell of a lot as well. Yuri's been brought down low earlier on in this round. Could find himself on the receiving end, but instead it's going to fall to Som to do the damage from the boost again. Kills go left and right, and Yuri's actually found himself in the clutch here. Automatic is a long way away. Yuri's got to get this bomb planted. And he will get those numbers punched in. And now it's down to this round. This is a big one for FURIA. This decides, what goes on with the money, whether or not they're able to keep fielding these buys. Yuri, already brought down low in the round, has to try and deal with Automatic, and he swings out. He's seen the barrel, but Yuri is fast. Incredibly fast. FURIA, they're going to get that 8th. They'll keep the dream alive. And now, really, there should be a 9th round about to follow here. This game is getting closer and closer.
Yeah, Gen G's money's been broken as well, so FURIA able to really get this one close. Surely nothing in this one for Gen G. Daps has a Molotov, and they are going to push behind it right down middle. FURIA did a lot of this on the CT side to great effect, but Som's pistols again showing up, finding one. Automatic, similar story, but it comes at a cost. 2 in for Yuri, and the B side, while it's not been taken, it can be the bomb though. It's been caught off alone. Henny needs assistance. Art has come back to try and assist, but Bentet is doubled up with Daps. First man dead. Do they know about the second? Daps has been spotted, and Art is trying to pave a path for his team to get back up with the bomb. Henny letting these players cross, the communication not there. Luckily the kills are For a second, that looked like it could have fallen apart for FURIA, as clearly some communication problems in that one, but the round is there regardless. That being said, an eco round for the likes of Gen G, and they get 3 kills and make it look very doable, so that sets them up well moving forward, considering everything is in their hands now. AWP, lots of utility on the most part.
This CT half, we've seen Automatic look so, like, antsy, wanting to take these early fights, right? Wanting to take these early engagements. And the fact now he's got that AWP back in hand, and there isn't one over on the side of FURIA, I think this is the round where we could see some magic from him. And there's that first kill already coming in over at top Banana, trying to chain together a bit more through the wall. Now, at the very least, he's secured this 5-on-4 for Gen G, and he sent FURIA away from Banana, away from this B bomb site, and in to this 3-man hold over at A. They're going to smoke off long. That leaves Kusta locked out of the round. Buntet about to get nullified as well. He actually goes through that smoke, helped out with a flash from Kusta, and is still alive, still kicking. Art finally reclaims at least 1 kill, but the numbers lying with Gen G right now. We got to see more from FURIA as they try and get into this A bomb site.
Daps is still in the pit as well. The Molotov comes in, it's pushed him out. Yuri's found him. Automatic on the flank, can't find a thing with the AWP. Again, getting caught off, and Som is too far away to join in on this party. It's going to be double digits taken. FURIA not giving up on this T side. More than that, they are about to get back into the swing of things to equal up the scoreline. Follow-up round should be their chance to do so, with Gen G's money getting completely swept from underneath them. This gun save does at least provide something in that follow-up round, but it won't be met with much else. FURIA, great call once they spot that AWP over on B and the triple B setup. While they didn't know it, they early rotate back towards A and actually get ahead of Bentet's position. He might have got a kill up through the archway, but quickly traded down to low HP. And Daps getting caught in the pit as well. That's a position that, you know, after we spoke to him after that complexity game on Inferno, he was saying that he's never played in the pit before on any of his teams in the past. So that's a new role that he's had to pick up, and he certainly claims to be having problems with it. FURIA do a good job of getting him out of position there with a Molotov. And the rest is history. A 10th round for the Brazilians, another eco for Gen G, and the chance to equal up for FURIA.
Partial investment now from the Gen G side. And we've seen these look pretty good for this squad. So let's see if they can offer something up here, heading into round 22. I think one thing that FURIA have been doing a great job of is just not giving up any of these early fights, right? They play so painfully slowly early on that if you're Gen G, you really don't have any idea as to where these plays are coming in till the moment they come through. And whenever we've seen players from Gen G try and go for these early fights, well, you know, thinking back to like that round prior with Automatic peeking down Banana, they'll get like the 1 kill. But the moment that FURIA get a drop of information, they play off the back of it, and they play as the remaining 4. They group up, and they'll take these gunfights across the map. So Gen G are just having to play very reactive Counter-Strike. First kill found for Kusta in this one. He actually barrels down to try and get the gun, and that's a little bit optimistic. Case Serato on the other side doesn't want to let him get it, but he was able, in his dying breath, to put that weapon in the hands of Buntet. Kusta, he has bestowed on this one man at B the means to do damage. Buntet now has to answer the call, and the AK is coming alive. That's why we put it on his back. The response is in, and Henny doubles up as well. This round is chaos. This round is almost drawing to a close. Henny's got 10 seconds. He's got to get the bomb planted. He starts to put in the numbers. Daps up through Banana. And good night, Henny defuses in. And Gen G, they'll take a 12th round, and they'll keep this lead building up.
That's such an important kill for Daps as well. I've seen numerous clips of him already in this series, missing shots of the CZ and missing these one-on-ones, but winning such a crucial one at the back of the B site. Henny didn't realize his time was low. He was fighting towards CT before that realization kicked in, and Buntet, what a round. Not only getting these 3 kills to note, but when Kusta gets that kill with the P250, Buntet threw a smoke that hit the first man going into B. That not only stops his movement, but tells Kusta via audio that there's a man up close. He is able to go wide, get that kill, get the gun, and give it to Buntet. who single-handedly makes that round a reality for Gen G. 12 rounds to 10, an eco win as well. And Furia's money on its last legs. They've got to buy here, but if they lose this round, not only are Gen G going to start to take a significant lead, but they will have anti-ecos to make it just that bit easier.
Furia stand staring at the feet of the Goliath in front of them. Gen G trying to trample their way to victory here at DreamHack Open Anaheim. Furia, they're running out of chances to fight back. They're running out of money. They're running out of time. We've got to see a fantastic individual and team effort across the board if they want to turn this around now.
It's a nice molly. That forces automatic back up into the safety of the A site, but we can imagine that orb will reaggress. As you said it yourself, automatic been keen to try and find these opening jewels here with the orb. Success in the past, will the present be the same? That flash gets him off the angle, he's got to move back, he's got to run to the site. Fully blind, Vinny spammed as well through the smoke. Kusta playing with fire here on the side of that smoke, will also back up. 3 players on A here for Gen G, but they've got no information. That smoke is going to cut them off, and automatic wants to fight ahead of it. This is a huge risk, but the reward is also great. Oh, so close. And Furia, they're just going to speed it up.
Yeah, straight in to the unknown though, and it's these close players inside of the A site that are turning Furia into mincemeat. Daps is spraying, and there's a kill, there's a round. Gen G 13 to 10. Furia gets sent packing from that A bomb site. And as they get into the crunch, as they get into the thick of it, inside of A, the smoke's are down, the vision's obscured, and there's just so many bodies here firing back at you. What were you to do if you're Furia? And now comes a gut-wrenching moment in this game. Furia taking a full eco in round 24, 10 to 13. You know the odds are you're giving this round over to Gen G. You've got to do something spectacular. Kusta, he's not one for miracles. There's the kill, and Henny left alone. All alone for that matter in a 1v2. He's at least got the bomb. He's retrieved an M4. Can he do anything?
Oh, but he's gotten ahead of these rotations here. Daps is the only player left up on the A site, and he is spotting mid, but Henny might be able to jump across. He has, trying to find the fight. Daps is going to go in, and Henny just gets around the corner. That will allow for the plant. The second man in library, too late to the party, but he has got him trapped. Automatic can watch his sight, and he can't move a muscle, and the grenades come in, it misses. Molotov same. They don't know whether he's inside of the site or on default, but that information has been transpired, and automatic is pushed up with the pistol. Gen G, it gets sweaty, it gets close, but it gets 14. That was a great eco for Furia as well, right? Heavy grenades up Banana. They did so much damage to Gen G stack over on B. They had players playing anti-flash on the sandbags, and luckily Kusta has this mow down with the Krieg, or that round could have completely fallen apart. B given over, and only 2 players left on rotation. That could have been a Furia round with Glocks, but it will not.
Ooh. The pause music, man, it adds so much. You can feel the tension right now. Furia, they know this is do or die. And you only get to pick one, and it's the decision that you make in moments like this that shape everything. Furia in with this investment, a final pause, a final chance to make sure everyone is ready. They know what's on the line. And Gen G looking to do this flawless, automatic. AWP out, not going to go peeking down mid. Instead, this first bit of contact could be found once again at this pesky B site. It's Som, grouped close over by the half wall. Molly's going to force K-Serato forward. Som, ooh, dear, caught trying to exit from Banana. He gets toasted. Buntet Throws that nade in. It's a little bit risky as they're already close. They're coming round. Bentet's got to try hold B, and he falters almost immediately. Now, Gen G, they so commonly have this three-man stack here, and they had it in the early stages of the round, but they were not anticipating this pace, this speed from FURIA. And so this just might have to be a save.
Yeah, what else have you got, really? You don't want to give away an AWP. You don't want to lose your limited money that will be able to buy up in the follow-up round if these guns are kept. Automatic is the bank of the team right now with $9,000, and they want to keep it that way. FURIA, on the plus side for them, that's a flawless round. That's 5 alive, and that's all the money they ever needed in this round. Som, at least he gets that smoke out in his dying breath, but it's not enough to hold back the tirade of T's into the B site. 11 rounds for FURIA. Very much possible, very much doable. 3 rounds behind now. Will Gen G let their foot off the gas at the final moment?
You can cut the silence in here with a knife. It's just so thick. The atmosphere, man, it's kind of nuts. Gen G back in with an investment of FURIA, looking to make this comeback a reality. Koost has gone aggressive down through mid. He's trying to change the name of the game. He's trying to up the pace, but he's lost his teammate.
Oh, no.
Almost some damage off. Almost another frag for Gen G to hold on to. But instead, it's ended up flipped on its head once again, and now this stack coming in over towards the A bomb site. Have they gambled wrong?
That rotate definitely got hurt. Some ran through Speedway, and FURIA are all over Banana. They at least know that Gen G left one player off of that B bomb site, and that's only going to tempt them further into this. Bentet's doubled back in towards B, but is he going to be too late here? The smoke's already coming through. Luckily, no one's ahead of them. Som's going to come and join him, but FURIA are only faking out. They're only throwing grenades to walk back towards middle. Gen G double faked, duped. Will they be ready for it? Daps, he's got a Molotov on long, but they're already running up short side. He's not inside of the site in time. Can he put a stop to this? Going wide, ready for the first, but Vinny's gonna land the immediate kill, and Som's already been dropped as he comes through that smoke as well. Bentet, it's Save City. Get out of here, buddy. FURIA on to 12.
And it's getting scary now because, FURIA chaining these couple together. We've seen investments in all of these from Gen G, and we've seen FURIA struggling to do exactly this, chaining these rounds together. Well, now they're finally doing it. They're putting themselves in a good spot. And the thing that's even scarier, if you're a Gen G fan, is that FURIA have been keeping these rounds incredibly clean. 4 players staying alive here to boot. That's just going to throw this team money through the roof. They are feeling it now, FURIA. These are the circumstances they wanted.
And Gen G, you've got to wonder what the calls are like inside of the team speak, right? They've tried a lot. They've tried these heavy B setups early on. FURIA countered it by going late into that site after the rotates had left. They throw Kusta right down mid, and Automatic gets blinded, misses his shot. Kusta gets 1.5 kills, putting a man on 9 HP. If he finds that frag, maybe that round is theirs. But maybe running out of options here for Gen G. What is going to be the game plan? What's the idea moving forward? FURIA keeping them on their toes. Gen G, they're on eco, but they're going to put these guns to good use. Again, back down through middle. Automatic looking for a fast fight. FURIA coming up through second mid as well. That flash is fantastic there. Is there going to be a player that spots a barrel? He sees a man in the apartment and he gets the kill, but there's no one here to capitalize or trade. Art's running back, but the dink is in. It's not enough. Yuri's found another frag, and remember, there's only one gun in play here for Gen G.
Yeah, FURIA, they've just pumped the brakes. They're still scared. They've seen how close these pistol rounds have got, and they don't want to get ahead of themselves. You do not want to have your comeback put to an abrupt end when you're only up against these pistols. So they'll try and play the time game now. A minute left on the clock. Sneaking their way up through second mid. They have not made a drop of noise for Gen G to play off the back of. And FURIA still looking to make their mind up as to where this one is ending. I think Yuri made a step in apps as well, and that's why now they leave this bomb. They actually send it away. He's going to rejoin over at Banana. Som and his Deagle alone inside of the B bomb site. As good as this man has looked, this is asking so much of him. This is asking so much from just one player. He's hidden on the fountain, and he falls immediately. K-Serato bests him in the head-to-head. FURIA, they're going to take this 13th round for Buntet and Daps. This is not even one they give a look in.
Yeah, there's a couple of guns dropped in middle, at least from that early push that Automatic bestowed upon this round. So Daps could look to try and grab an M4 and upgrade. He's only on 7 points of health, so it's all worth the risk. We'll get a Krieg. That's fantastic. Him and Buntet going to be able to save guns, but if you're FURIA, you've got to be wondering whether you want to chase this one down. You have the money. As you said, Harry, clean rounds from these Brazilian players in the last couple. 4 in the previous, 5 in the prior. And this one, a similar situation. So they move down Banana, but not too keenly hunting these guns. It's going to be a 13th round, though. Slow and steady wins the race, and they're certainly calculated. Gen.G, they've got to be crumbling right now. This is a hard situation to be in. But with those guns saved, they can afford everything they need. That AWP, again, a priority, you'd imagine. I'd love to see Automatic over towards that B site with the AWP. We've pretty much only seen him on short side. We've not seen an attempt at throwing that AWP over towards the B site since the first time he had it this half. That worked out in getting him a kill at the very least. It's just been Buntet and Som on this site instead. But even early triple B setups with lots of utility down Banana has been a bit of a mainstay for Gen.G, so that could, again, continue to be prolific. We'll see where Automatic takes his weapon.
Round 28. This is a map that's going the distance, whether we like it or not.
And we like it.
Oh, we do. We love to see it. Gen.G trying with all their might to hold on to this lead that they had, but the Wolves are at the door. FURIA just one behind that of Gen.G now. Grouping up over in second mid, some fake utility getting thrown in from Queserato here at Banana. The rest of his team trying to take top mid control. Daps, the one player nearby who could maybe have something to say about this, will get smoked on off. Automatic. He's got this AWP over at short side and he's looking to put it to use. There's the first kill coming in. And for the first time in a while, Gen.G going to be sat a man up here.
Yeah, crucial opener. It's been FURIA finding those first picks round after round in this T-side comeback. They're on a 3 in a row right now. Gen.G looking to get that map, that match, that series, that championship point. 4 kills away from it. Utility down Banana has put Queserato on his last legs. 3 on this A site, 4 for FURIA, looking to commit. That smoke goes down on top of the Molotov. That does give them a way out of the apartments, but also makes it very, very difficult. Automatic's watching lower, Kusta firing upper, and he's already dinked Yuri as well, down low, but does he realize?
Yeah, Kusta doesn't even know. Yuri's just had to leave. He's actually had to just concede and wait up in the apartments for these short players to make some noise, but the kills come in. 10 seconds. FURIA, they've got to start to pick up the pace, and Automatic splits down one. The time is not enough. And there's the lineup from Som regardless. Gen.G, they'll reach map and series point. If they get this, they take the title here in Anaheim. They lock in a DreamHack Masters spot, and they get to say they did it all flawlessly as well. 1 round, that's all they need. FURIA, they're 2 behind. They're close. They're close. They've been nipping at their heels all game long, and they don't want to let them get away now at the final hurdle. No. There's an opener found here. FURIA, they want to drag this on, but Automatic says it's home time. First kill comes in, and he's still sticking around. Might come to regret that. Daps here with the trade. This round is chaos. He's gone quiet over at short. His teammates have rotated in, but Daps falls. They're both here. They're already arriving from this B site, and Buntet pulls us back into a 2-on-2.
There's a gap as well. Som's playing around that cubby, but he could try and find a fight through that towards the pit. That's where Vinny sits in this post plant. A Molotov still to cut this player out, but I think they've realized, I think they've spotted him. The barrel giving it away. Queserato's got to run. He's burning in the flames. He's on fire, but he needs these kills. He can't afford to shift. Som has found the kill, and it's all on Vinny.
Down in the pit, time ticking away. They throw a boost up over the top, but Vinny is fast on the trigger. Is he ready for the same again? Is he ready for twice in the same spot? Lightning will strike twice today as FURIA get the 14th. One away now from an overtime. We're going all 30, and for Gen G, look down that list on the right. Hugo, it's a grim picture. The money's run out. FURIA, they wanted overtime, they needed overtime. It would start all over again, and we just might get there.
And the value of those clean rounds that FURIA were putting together on the comeback comes back to save them as well. Fast play for Som down. Bernardi gets caught on a flash, and Buntet's going to have to trade him out. 4-on-4. Gen G at least keep it even, but they lose control towards that B site. Automatic wants to try and grab a gun. He's got nothing to play with. MP9 out the map. There's an AK at his feet, but smoke just to make sure that FURIA don't catch him in transition. Waiting to see if they spam. They do not. Is he going to grab that gun? Hasn't got forever. Eventually will pick it up. Has to sneak, otherwise the audio of him picking up that weapon does get heard. And luckily, in the midst, he grabs a Molotov as well. Considering he is a solo B player, that Molotov is, or could be, his saving grace. And they're coming.
Automatic alone at the B-bomb site, and overtime on the cards. Come on, this is Cloud9 Majory vibes all over, admittedly. Wrong player, wrong place, but it's good enough. And they will go away from B. They don't go pushing into it. 40 seconds. FURIA. They have worked so hard to get us to this point, to have a chance at overtime. All that's left to do now is try and seal the deal. Buntet, Kusta, inside of the A-bomb site. Kills go left and right, but Yuri's doubled up. Daps trying to hold down the apartments, and he's going to hide. He's going to bide his time. There's seconds left on this clock for that bomb to go down, and they do get it across into the site. They'll plug in those numbers. The rotation's in from Automatic. Daps has been picked up, and now one man left standing to carry the hopes of Gen G forward. This bomb 3/4 of the way ticked, and Automatic not getting given a fight. Now knows he's got to go and seek them out himself. That leaves him in the prying eyes of Yuri, and we're going to overtime. We'll wipe the slate clean, and we'll go again.
In every game that Gen G have taken at Anaheim, they've all gone the distance, Harry. They've all gone 29 or 30 rounds prior to this series. Not only their first dominant victory back on the map pick of FURIA on Nuke, but now even more than 30. Overtime in the grand final is exactly what we wanted here. FURIA on a huge T-side comeback. It was 10 rounds in the first half of Inferno. Gen G's T-side was impeccable, and FURIA have done the damage as well. Is it going to be in vain, though? Can they close it out in extra time? The questions we'll have to wait and see. Money now no longer a problem, and boy, was it a problem for Gen G in that second half. They now get to wipe the sweat off their forehead and arm themselves to the teeth.
And that's the thing. I mean, we've all been pleasantly surprised by how the young guns of Som and also a man like Kusta has been looking on this Gen G squad. But these are the moments where you're in the overtimes. You're in these tight jams in best of threes in the grand final up there on the big stage. And these are the moments where that pressure starts to build up, starts to mount.
Not just pressure, but experience. FURIA have been here before. They've been in these situations, so they know how to deal with it. Gen G, a new roster, a new lineup, their first LAN, and all the pressure on them to try and close this one out. They find the first kill. They start things off on the right foot. Vinny walking a smoke. Timing is everything. Kusta's come in on rotation. He's going to peek him from the library, but not spotted anything just yet. Two players here. Hungry for a battle. The flash does work, but the smokes are coming in to cut off his line of sight. Doesn't matter. Peeks before they blooms. Vinny's in with a trade. Automatic can't have any say into this fight with that smoke coming down in his face, and so he's just got to hide. Two players still on the B site, and that's where the bomb's going.
Yeah, Som's been spotted over on the pillar. He's trying to shrink himself down. He's trying to hide behind it, but this isn't a cartoon. This isn't Pink Panther. He's getting spotted. He's getting tagged on down, just whittled away, slowly but surely. He's begging for help. He's begging for assistance, but Buntet can do nothing but look on as his teammate is murdered before his very eyes. There's the trade. 14 seconds. Furia, there's no time to fake. There's no time to change your mind. You've got to go now. And it's into the Morza, the B stage. Go, Henny! Finished off. And Gen G going to take the first in overtime. 16-15.
And they just continue to have the right players in the right place at the right time, not only in that last round of regulation with 4 players on A, or 3 rather in the 4-on-4, but even there, 3 players down on B, Furia walking into the setup, even though some gets completely naded out of position, that AWP coming in on rotation to save the day. Needs down mid again. Gen G not wanting to be the ones to force the fight though, not wanting to get aggressive as Furia. They've got all the pressure on their shoulders. Banana conceded. K-Serato has been playing in the smoke from time to time to good effect.